Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. 201, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie, how was the weekend, kid?
It was good, very productive.
What was the best thing you did this weekend that you could share on?
Yeah, thank you for that. No, we're just moving some things around here and moving some of...
Like furniture and...
Yeah, the girlfriend's
weights.
moving in with me, so we're moving clothes and items and things like that. So
Nice.
It's exciting times, the Rivers house, and... I was going to cut the grass. It rained too damn much all weekend, so now I got to look at outside in my yard, and looks like a rainforest.
You feel
out there.
sad inside, don't you?
I don't like it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie, Anthony. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
My dog, the puppy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's wonderful, by the way.
Well, good.
Except for we got a bit of a circus at the Rivers house, to where we've got 2 dogs and a cat and a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon. Is that a lizard? That's a lizard, right?
Yeah, it's like a big lizard.
Okay.
And anyways, every now and then, Braden, my son, will bring his dog, and the last time they brought his girlfriend's parents' dog. So we had 4 dogs, a cat, running around like crazy.
That's a lot.
The cat got sick on the carpet, and Ashley's youngest cleaning it up as best he could, and he went to play video games or squirrel, and then the puppy was over and trying to eat the carpet. Well, she did. She ate a hole right through the carpet. So I got that going for me. So yeah, this is my weekend.
How do you repair a hole in a carpet?
Well, Anthony, let me tell you something. You don't.
Yeah.
You got to go buy another piece of carpet. Thank goodness there's a seam that runs like right next to it, so I can probably get away with a couple of $100 of this carpet and just pop it in there. But yeah. But we did have a great. Ashley and I had a great 2-year anniversary dinner at
Congratulations.
John Minio's out in Chesterfield area. I mean, just an incredible dinner. If you're ever looking for authentic, incredible Italian food, John Minio's is the place to go.
Did you have the ravioli?
No, we had, they started out like an eggplant ravioli, and then, it's ravioli, yeah, but I thought you meant like my entree.
Yeah.
And then they brought another little appetizer, it was lobster ravioli. So again, I thought you meant entree. I didn't have
Marsh,
the
did you have the ravioli? Nope. I had
Not
the
one bit.
ravioli. 2 different kinds of ravioli.
Yeah, but it wasn't my entree. So then, let's see here. Then I had the filet. And what they do is they kind of put
Ravioli in there?
Nope, no ravioli. Lobster stuffed filet. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Bro, I rolled out of that place. It's so damn good.
Sweating.
No, it was great because you know how they do the Italian meals. I mean,
do.
You'd know nothing about it. But so what they do, Anthony, is they space it out, right? So we had like a 2-hour dinner. It was great, little appetizers and whatnot. And so when I finished the entree and everything, I wasn't rolling around in sweat. It was like, this is perfect. Then we had the cannoli. Oh, my God. So damn good.
So outside of the cat puking and the dog eating a puke and putting a hole in your carpet, you had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
Your lawn doesn't look good.
No,
but
lawn doesn't look great. No.
You're fine.
But we got
You'll
a lot
get
of
to
stuff.
it.
I purged the closet, by the way. And
That feels good.
so, sure does. Ashley will tell you that when she was first coming over to the house, I had the whole master closet, which is all of my stuff. And I purge it every so often. Well, this was the official purge. Incredible. Must have been 4 garbage bags full of clothes and shoes and stuff that I just don't wear or that no longer fits me or whatever. And so that felt good. Now the closet's in shape and the shoes are organized. And
Nice.
feel like a big boy.
No kidding. You did some adult things over the weekend.
I
Look
did
at
some
you.
adulting. Yeah.
I like that.
Anthony, how was your weekend? It's good to see you at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, thanks. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, 270 was fine. Coming
that's
in.
good.
We got
Yeah.
a great idea. I love our text line.
What's
by the way.
up?
From the 314 says, tell Jamie he can cut a piece of carpet from an unused closet and then repair that hidden spot later.
Oh, wow. Holy bleep.
You are the smartest person alive, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I get the little cut it out nice, plop it in
'cause
there.
in the closet, you
and
don't
then in the closet, just a
have to
little
worry
corner
as
piece where
much.
you can use a carpet repair kit.
Yeah.
My goodness, the text line. This is why we love them, Anthony.
That was a hack right there if I ever saw that.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Very much. We'll have Mike Ryder put together a gift basket for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of gifts,
I can't
Anthony,
confirm that
I
that
got
will
you a
happen.
gift.
You did?
I did get you a gift. I have it right here in my bag.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
I feel like,
I don't
is he
feel
going to
good
give you the
about
bird
this.
here?
This doesn't...
Just in case
What do we got?
you need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
Whenever
Thanks,
you're going
Marsh.
to work, you can
I got
depend.
some Depends. You see this?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. For those that don't know, when I was trapped on 270, I had to go to the bathroom so bad that I thought about going in my pants. Now, if I'm ever trapped, I can thank Marsh.
Yeah.
I just let it go, and I feel good about it, and I don't ruin the pants. And then I come in and I just take off the diaper.
There you go.
Marsh, you know what? The fact that you thought of me this weekend and my bladder, this is easily the nicest gift I've ever received. Thank you.
Wonderful gift.
Wow.
Marshy,
Yeah.
you're closer to college age than Anthony and I are. That's for
Look at
sure.
this guy. Look at this guy smiling because he knows.
He
If
knows
I'm
he can
ever
just go in his pants. It
if I'm
doesn't
ever caught in
matter.
traffic, I'm good.
He's like, I can
Yeah.
just pee my pants.
I feel you, man.
You guys ever go to a bar, a college bar, where they had the bladder busters?
No.
Okay, so when I was playing in the minors, I wasn't in college, but there's colleges all over the Boston area. And in Worcester, Mass, they had what's called the Bladder Buster. And there's one place called the Dive Bar. And what happens is it starts at like 7 o'clock at night, and it'll go until somebody has to pee. So you can drink, it's like $10 each person. You can drink as much as you want of certain things. Like it's not like crazy. But college kids, like beer after beer after beer, draft beer, doesn't matter. And the first time somebody pees, it's over. That like the whole special is over.
Oh no, I'd never get invited, man.
People and you
I'm 2
can't,
beers in, I'm peeing.
and you can't wear like Depends and things like that.
No.
They'll give you the little back pat and things like that. And then
They check you.
people end up to where like they're trying to get to the bathroom and people are guarding it, not letting them get to the bathroom. You can hold it. You can hold it.
I'd throw punches at that point. I would. I'd knock
And you
people
pee
out.
everywhere too, Anthony.
I would knock them out, then pee on them if I had to.
Well, now you don't have to worry
No,
about
I don't. Yeah,
it.
thanks to
it's,
Mark.
It's contraband when it comes to the bladder buster itself.
It's 25 too. This is gonna last me a while.
It's a lot.
At least a
Thanks,
week.
Marsh. Yeah,
It's 25 shows right there.
I mean, typically I'm not. This was the first time in 10 years.
Once
I
you
got
go
caught
in your
traffic.
pants, Anthony, I'm telling you, you won't look back.
It's liberating.
Now, can you
Lincoln goes in his drawers all the time. He's good. He's never been happier.
pee in those multiple times, or do you have to replace it every time you go?
So I would imagine it's like a child's pull-up.
I'll find out.
You know this, the child's pull-up.
Yeah.
When they're going from the diaper, the body shape, they get the pull-up. If you tempt that thing, like tempt fate with 2 peas in that thing,
Yeah.
the doors are busting open.
Is he a little saggy?
Oh, saggy, and it'll blow out down the legs.
Yeah, they're not really designed. Like the diaper is designed to absorb.
Right.
The pull up is really it's a trade. It's the call. It's basically for accidents, and that's it. Yeah, like one accident. So
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, good stuff, guys. I feel like we covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah.
We got a hack for the carpet. Marsh supplied me with some
we
diapers.
got another texter that says that he's been a carpeted floor layer for over 20 years, and then he'll fix it for me. So I just wrote his name down. Joe.
Wow.
Joe, you'll be getting a call from me.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So come over. He's going to lay your carpet. That's good.
Yeah. Gonna lay the carpet right there in the living room.
Excellent. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 210. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about... Well, we're going to talk about Adam Wainwright and maybe some struggles that he had over the weekend. A little bump in the road. He'll be fine. We'll also talk about what the hell is going on with Wander Franco and Michael Orr. And apparently this was a controversy weekend for a lot of athletes. So we'll dive into that. College football's got their top 25 poll outs. We'll do a little quick hitter dedicated to that. A little Blues, a little Cardinals. First look at the NFL quarterbacks for the preseason. So maybe we'll overreact to some of the things that we saw there. But coming up next, get the lineup game. Cardinals, A's, they open up a new series, 6:45 at Busch Stadium. Ollie already got that lineup out, so we'll play the lineup game next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the biggest sports stories in
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That sounder means it's time to play the lineup game as the A's coming to town. They take on the Cardinals tonight, 6:45. It'll be J.P. Sears, a left-hander.
Yeah. Oh, the old LHP.
Yeah, the old LHP tonight. Miles McCollus, I believe is how you pronounce that name.
Do you think they'll
Miles
score some
McCollus
runs for
tonight.
Miles tonight at least?
No. Maybe. Yeah, I do, actually.
I mean, that poor bugger pitched his brains out last game and got nothing for it.
Kind of like Wayne. Yeah, you're right about Michaelis. All right, lineup game. Here we go. Left-hander on the bump, Jamie. So I don't think this is going to be the Newt.
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, you think we're still grinding?
Why would you not be grinding all the time with Newt at this point?
Because I feel like... No. Maybe. Yeah, I do. What is that? Did you hear that bleed?
I did hear that. I don't know what's going on. Marshy,
Right,
you okay
we're
over
good.
there?
Marshy's fine.
She's still focused on Depends.
I don't think that Ollie likes the Newt against the lefties.
Why
when
does
Tommy
Ollie not
Edman,
like Newt?
Because he usually has Tommy Edman there.
All right. I
Let's
think you're
go with
right.
Newt.
No, I think you're right.
Well, now you got me completely
Well,
questioning.
Tommy's absolutely bashing from the right side, too. And Ollie made a point yesterday or after the last game to talk about the power he has from the right side.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's Tommy Edman.
You good?
I mean, I'm not good, but I think it's Tommy Edman.
Okay. Show us Tommy Edman.
Tommy likey. Tommy want wingy.
All right. You see, Anthony?
That was good.
Communication. We're able to work through things.
I know you're somewhat talking down to me right now, but
Not at
I
all.
agree. I agree on
I
that.
was trying to help you.
All right.
Sure.
So we got our shortstop. I'm going to try to fill in some of these positions too, Jamie.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Thanks.
Which ones?
Well, right now, shortstop.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is Paul Goldschmidt,
I
the old
agree.
two-hole. Who doesn't want old Yukon in the two-hole?
Well said.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
All right, so we got our old 1B. Okay, so...
Unless he's DH.
Unless he's DH,
Yeah,
yes.
just saying.
Yeah.
Gotta get him off his feet every now and then, Anthony.
Right. Apparently all the time.
Yeah. This gotta be Nolan.
Yeah, with the lefty on the bump, I agree.
Nolan from the lumberyard. I love this one.
May I?
Yeah, please do.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
Nolan is a security guard at the lumber yard.
I love it. Is this Big Willie style?
Yes.
I mean, this guy is a Hall of Famer in the second half of the season. He's everything
Mashing
and more
baseballs.
than what you thought he was going to be offensively.
Well said.
Yeah. Show us that Big Willie. Contreras.
This one goes out to all the big willies.
Wilson, are you naked? No, Tim, I'm wearing a hat.
Well, tell him wearing a hat.
right.
All right.
The 5-hole.
O'Neill,
Oh, yeah, probably.
the scratch master himself, Tyler
yeah.
O'Neill.
Sure.
Show us Tyler O'Neill.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Okay. Jordan Walker? Is it walk it like it's
Yeah,
hot?
we could walk it like it's hot. Let's do that.
Let's pause.
Okay,
Let's
pause.
This is the last time we started running out of control. We totally forgot about a player.
Running downhill.
Yeah, running downhill, hoping we don't trip.
I'm just thinking who has typically been in this fifth spot.
Well, Walker has been there. O'Neill has been there. Contreras has been there.
Right.
I understand he's batting fourth, but
Okay. I'm looking back the last time they faced a lefty.
is it Rube Baker, you think?
Old Lucan Baker, who's up for DC.
I mean, 5's pretty high in the lineup, but this guy absolutely smashes baseballs.
They faced the lefty. I forgot they faced the lefty on Saturday in Cole Raggins, and it was Nolan Gorman here.
Gorman, and he absolutely ripped a rope, too, right over the first base.
And Newt actually was leading off, so we kind of.
Always forgot about Newt.
I don't think Newt's 5 though.
You don't think he's
so
going to play?
I think he's going to play. Yeah,
I think this is Gorman or Nootbaar right here.
I do too.
I'll let you pick.
I think Ollie is somewhat predictable. Like he kind of
Somewhat.
he keeps with the trends. Like he keeps with the recent trends. I'm going to say Nolan Gorman.
All right.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
There's a storm coming
Yes.
Okay.
This is Jordan Walker now, don't you think? Or Tyler O'Neill.
So it was Tyler O'Neill on Saturday.
Let's go back to the old
I agree.
T-bone.
Go ahead.
Show us Tyler O'Neill.
Nice. Scratchy scratch. Okay. Tommy Edman was in this spot on Saturday, but obviously he's leading off today.
Flip him
So
with Newt?
we could look at Newt here.
Or are they going to go 9 with Newt? They like the double leadoff.
It was Edman, Walker, Kisner on Saturday.
Yeah, so they
I
won't-
don't think it's Kisner. Kisner's not on the
No, they had a
lineup
day
today.
off yesterday. He's not
right.
going to Kisner. No.
Yeah. I say he flipped. This is either Walker or Nootbaar, in my opinion. And go ahead, you make the decision this time. I believe in you
Okay.
with all my heart.
I agree. It's either Walker or Newt. I think it's time to grind it. Show us Lars Nootbaar. There we go.
I hate when he doesn't get a hit.
I know. Operating in a Hall of Fame clip right now.
And grind. Okay, so this is Jordan Walker.
Yes, totally agree.
Let's walk it like it's hot, Marshy. Show us Jordan Walker.
What a shame.
Okay.
Does Lucan Baker get in this damn lineup? Like, what's our outfield right now? Our outfield,
O'Neill, Newt.
yeah, and it's not Carlson because he's hurt.
Right.
So it's either Burleson or Baker. No, am I wrong?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And I can't imagine against a lefty it'd be Burleson.
But maybe Baker is DH and Walker is in right field, and he's hitting 9th.
Okay,
He had Walker 8th. That's why we went with him. So Baker, we could go Baker. He's the DH.
yeah.
And then Walker 9, and Walker's our right fielder.
Okay,
You follow me?
yeah.
Okay, so
Show us that Lucan Baker.
nice. Okay, wow. Boy, Jamie, I feel like you and I
Yeah.
are really thinking things through here.
Well, with a lefty on the bump and Baker, the way he swings, I mean, come on. You got to give him, let the big dog eat a little bit.
Very
no?
true. So go ahead.
Yep.
I think this is Jordan Walker and right.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's walk it like it's hot.
Let's do it.
Show us Jordan Walker. Ooh, he made us wait there.
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
know if I like that on a Monday, but
Yeah.
that's fine, Marshy. I
know
get you.
what? He's having some fun. Go ahead, Marsh, run it.
All right, guys, leading off the shortstop. Tommy Edman batting second, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt batting third baseman Nolan Arenado. The cleanup hitter catching Wilson Contreras batting fifth at second, Nolan Gorman batting sixth in left field, Tyler O'Neill batting seventh in center field, Lars Taylor Tetsuwi Nootbaar batting eighth, the DH Lucan Baker, and batting ninth, the right fielder Jordan Walker.
Go foul, go foul!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
I don't think we did that badly. I mean,
We got two spots we went sideways.
but I feel like we we never went on tilt,
No.
which was good.
It's early in the week.
It is. Yeah. Did anybody hit a home run last time we played, Marsh?
No, we didn't get one. Jamie had Newt, I had Burleson, and you had Gorman. Tyler O'Neill was the one that hit the home run Friday.
And you had Tyler O'Neill the first night.
Oh, yeah.
I had him
I did it
the
to spite
previous
him.
night. Yeah, you did. Okay, so Jamie, you're up. Go for it.
All right. I think Contreras has it tonight.
All right, I like that play.
He's been swinging really good lately.
Marsh.
I'm going to go with Lucan Baker.
I was going to do that too, but he's too far down for me.
Riding the hot hand there.
Riding the hot bat.
Yeah.
That's what they say, Anthony.
You know, Marsh likes to ride the storyline, I feel like. You know, Lucan Baker, he's coming in, new guy.
Marshy gets
Marsh is-
excited.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's right. He's riding that storyline. I'm going to go with Tommy Edman.
Right away, huh?
Tommy Edman's got 3 ding-dong Johnsons in his last 19 PAs. He's hitting from the right side against the lefty. JP Sears is going to throw him a meatball right away, and Tommy Edman's going to get the scoring started.
That might happen.
By the way, did you see what happened the other day between the A's and the Nationals?
The 9-8 victory for the Nationals,
It
where
was
the
the-
A's were up like 8-1. That one?
Oh, it was the comebacker to the pitcher. I think his name was it Medina?
Oh, yeah.
Funky Cold Medina?
Yeah,
Luis Mendina.
and he just didn't
what did
throw
he-
it to first. He just ran over to first
He ran
base
over,
and
then
didn't
stopped
touch the
running
base.
like he was going to flip the ball, but then didn't, and the guy went like, ooh. Good fundamentals on that one.
Well,
That's the team we're playing
the
tonight.
A's. Yeah.
You have to win.
You know,
Yeah.
theoretically, you think about a 33-85 team coming to your park and winning, but when you're 52-66, Marsh, you can't really expect wins. Wow. Yeah.
I like your attitude.
You're 25-33 at home this year. 25-33.
25 wins, yeah.
But according to Jack Flaherty, you should be cheering for that crap. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's dive into Waino here. He's keeping Waino in the rotation, still the right decision. Doesn't matter. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers here. I want to talk to you about selling your home, and it can be a very stressful experience. We know that, especially with the market bouncing all over the place. You just can't trust any average agent to sell your home. You want to find somebody that is going to get the job done, get you to the closing table, and get you the most money. That person is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has a fantastic database with thousands of buyers that are ready, willing, and able to buy your home. That's going to create a higher demand for your property, hopefully multiple offers. And with that comes more money for you. And Gloria has mastered the home selling process and has many options for every seller. The one option that I truly love, and that you will too, is guaranteed sales, where Gloria will sit down with you at your home and she will figure out the listing price with you, and she will sell the home for that price. If she doesn't, she buys the home herself, and she guarantees that in handwriting. So please pick up the phone, tell Gloria that Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon price and possession date.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards split with the Royals after winning 5-4 on Saturday. They had yesterday off, but they'll be back in action tonight, taking on the Oakland Athletics. Miles Michaelis on the mound going up against J.P. Sears. 6:45 first pitch. Once again, Cards and A's. 6:45 first pitch. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
I'll sit back down with Waino and we'll talk through a couple things before I completely answer your question. But yeah, is it ideal? No, it's not. Is it coming out great? No, it didn't look like it today. Is it tough when you put up that many runs and you can't gain momentum because of how many you give up in the first two? Absolutely. So I understand all of it. It's unfortunate the way this has played out, but I'll sit down with Waino and we'll talk through some things and see what's next.
As Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol following Friday night's loss to the Royals, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Adam Wainwright pitched that game, lasted 1+ innings, gave up 8 runs to the Royals. He gave up 9 hits, failed to get a single swing and miss on his 39 pitches. He's given up 15 runs in his last 2 starts, 38 earned runs over 23 innings in his last 7 starts, leaving him, Jamie, with an 8.78 ERA for the season. If he weren't 2 wins shy of 200 career victories, I don't know if Adam Wainwright is still in this rotation. I wonder if he's on the IL and he's just kind of seeing this one through the rest of the year. But since he's 2 wins shy, the Cardinals are doing everything they can. They're giving him opportunities, and why not? It's a losing season. Outside of just rolling with it and just seeing this last month and a half out, I don't know what you do about it, Jamie. You're trying to get him 200 wins.
Yeah, this is the worst case scenario for the Cardinals organization. It is. It's a PR nightmare. It's a horrible situation to have to deal with because Adam Wainwright has been an unbelievable Cardinal. He's been an unbelievable baseball player. Bottom line, he's not that right now. And he had a couple of pretty good starts following his stint on the IL, but he's just getting rocked now. And these are teams that you should be beating, and you're down 8 runs in the first inning. And then you come back and still score 6. You should have won the game. So I'm sure Adam Wainwright feels terrible because this is a guy that prides himself on winning games for his team. And now the games are over before the first or second inning is over. Mm-hmm. And this is the ultimate dilemma for any team in any sports league at all, is when you have someone who has been such a fantastic player and role model for your organization for an extended period of time, and they go that 1 year too long. Now what? What do you do? It's like even some of the hockey players. When you watch some of the hockey players, you look at it, you're like, woof. Like David Backes, it just fell off, right?
Yeah.
David Backes was a warrior, a great leader, all these things. And it just, Father Time is undefeated. And whether it's a combination of, Father Time, along with some mechanics, maybe some tweaking of the injuries, but it's not working. There's no stuff there. It's 84 over the plate.
No movement.
Nothing. Straight in there. And, whether he's locating his pitches or not, something is prohibiting him from doing that. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to sit here and try and break down Adam Wainwright video.
Sure.
But the overall picture is that it's just an aging player who's not able to figure it out anymore. And I think it's driving Waino crazy because he's a guy that prides himself on figuring it out. Like in the middle of an at-bat, he's tweaking things and figuring things out. Then in between innings, he's looking at video and looking where his arm is at, where he's releasing the ball, and he's fixing things again on the fly. Like, what do you do when you keep fixing, and the result doesn't change? He's got to be so frustrated.
Well, and you heard him, too. He talked about how his bullpen sessions are great. He feels good in his bullpen sessions. And then he gets into the game, and he's almost surprised by the results. Are there
batters in the bullpen sessions?
No, but he says he feels good.
I'm not being a jerk.
But
like, I didn't know if he was pitching like live BP or however they do it. But like in the bullpen sessions, him and the catcher, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. There's nothing you can do, though. Unless Adam Wainwright, if I'm Ollie, unless Adam Wainwright comes to me and says, hey, look, Skip, thanks. We tried. Phantom IL me or, get me to the bullpen. I'll ride this thing out. Unless he does that, it's a losing season as it is. You might as well see this thing through.
Yeah.
And the days that he pitches, you're going to just have to have that bullpen. You're going to have to go to somebody in the bullpen. You're going to have to tell Waino, somebody in the bullpen, and say, hey, be ready in the first. Not get up, just mentally be ready.
Yeah, start thinking about it.
Because if I'm Ollie, if the playoffs are on the line, this is different. But with nothing on the line from a win-loss perspective, yeah, it's frustrating for everybody else. Nobody's going to go out there and say, oh, great, Waino is pitching and we're down 8. Everybody's going to have his back. So you're just going to have to see this one through unless Adam Wainwright comes to you.
So I'm of a different opinion at this point. And I'm not being mean to Waino here. I'm just being very honest. I'm just going to be very open and honest. Adam Wainwright, the odds of him pitching 5 innings and still being in a position to win a game are slim. They are. He's having a hard time getting through 2 or 3 innings to get to 5 full innings and the team be leading at that point for him to get the win. 2 more times, that's going to be tough. Let's put Adam Wainwright in the bullpen. Let's get guys like Zach Thompson or somebody like that to come out and not be your opener, but pitch till you can't pitch anymore, which would probably be like 4 innings is what they kind of tap those guys at right now. And when you're in a close game or you're tied or you're down by a run and it's the 4th inning and you need to go to somebody for the 5th inning, Waino. Bring in Waino from the bullpen. I honestly believe that this is the only way he'll get the 2 wins. Mm-hmm. Because when you flip it to the way I started the conversation, to pitch 5 innings and have his team in a spot to win,
yeah,
I think the latter idea of coming out of the bullpen in a close game to hopefully get the win is more logical and more likely.
I think your strategy is sound. Let's add the human element, though.
I know.
What if Adam Wainwright says he doesn't want to do that?
Well, look, Ollie's already on record saying that he's getting his next start. Mm-hmm. So whenever it is his next start, was it Saturday?
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Doesn't matter. His next start.
No, it's probably earlier than that. Whatever. Yeah.
He's getting it, okay? If he goes out and it happens again, at some point Adam Wainwright has to be honest with himself too. And although the season is not going to be a playoff season and who cares anyway, there's still an element of pride for Adam Wainwright. And the pride that I'm talking about doesn't come in the form of striking batters out or getting wins. The pride is not hurting your team on purpose. Mm. Because at that point, if he doesn't accept going to the bullpen or he pushes back, like at this point now he's doing it to the team. And I don't view him as that guy. I just don't. Like, he's hungry. He's competitive. He never say die. Like, I get it, man. I get it. But there's still a very intelligent person there that at some point is going to be like, you know what? You're right.
Thursday, by the way.
Thursday.
Yeah, against the flock of seagulls on Fox.
Oh.
It is a nationally televised game against the Mets at home Thursday. That'd be fine. It's Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. What is going on with Wander Franco? What is going on with Michael Orr? A couple of the bigger controversial stories to emerge. We'll give you our thoughts on that next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort over there at Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Well, one, he's just, I mean, those people are incredible. The customer service that you get and the product that they give you is fantastic. So if you're in the market for an HVAC system, absolutely call our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort. But the one thing that I do advise you for sure is continue to maintain your current HVAC so it doesn't get ruined quicker or break down on you. And they've got the Magic Tune over there at Swiss Air. It's only $69, and it's a 29-point cooling system to check to ensure that your cooling system doesn't break down, especially in this hot weather.
Yeah, well, I was outside the other day, and I looked at the AC unit, and I'm like, man, it's already getting dirty. I don't have to worry about that because with Swiss Air and their $69 Magic Tune, I'm set. They come out, they make sure everything's working properly when it needs to. When it comes to the AC and furnace, you do not want it to go out like it did for me and like it did for Jamie earlier this year. That's why we have Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, at Swiss Air, and they serviced Jamie's AC unit. They completely replaced mine. We wound up satisfied. In fact, I had neighbors. This just happened on Saturday. I had neighbors come by. I had recommended Swiss Air, and they said everything was outstanding. They were raving about Swiss Air. So make sure that you call. And if you do need anything service-wise, call now. $35 off any service call right now, Jamie, courtesy of Swiss Air.
Yeah, call them at 636-978-7800. Again, that's 636-978-7800, or visit them at SwissAirSTL.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Let's dive into this Wander Franco situation. So, news started to leak out last night, courtesy of ESPN's Jeff Passan, that Wander Franco was not going to make the trip to San Francisco. The Rays are playing the Giants starting tonight. He wasn't going to make the trip. He eventually was put on the restricted list, which means there is no injury. And now they're starting to have, reports come out that the reason why he's on the restricted list is because the MLB is investigating some social media content that Franco released on Instagram Live that there's a young female and her mother that are accusing Wander Franco of the Rays of him having relations with a minor. That's all we know right now.
Saying that it was his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's 22, by the way.
14-year-old girlfriend.
So he's 22. If she's 14, this is awful for all parties involved. But we don't know the extent of the relationship.
No, I don't. And look, there are a lot of different things going on out there. First of all, if everything that they're alleging is accurate, Wander Franco has some issues he's got to deal with.
Yeah.
And the league's got to deal with that too.
Legal issues.
All of the above. Look, my daughter's 14, my youngest one. I couldn't imagine a 22-year-old wanting to date my daughter.
You'd be in jail.
Yes, I would be. So that's how I feel about it. Now, the flip side of this is in these situations, we always tend to go a certain direction. Like, we think one way or the other. I'm not thinking one way or the other. I'm giving the opposite take of this, of the one I just gave. It's been reported that the girl and her mother had been seeking $200,000 to be quiet about the relationship. And Wander Franco said, I don't care. And then they went public with it. I don't know that to be true. Mm-hmm. That is what I'm reading in certain reports. So you're getting two very different stories out of this. And that's probably why they shut him down. It's probably why they're like, this is a little bit too much. We need to get you out of the spotlight and figure out what's true and what isn't. Can't forget here, Ian Cole, hockey player with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I believe it was last year. Marshy, maybe it was this year. It was last year. Someone went on Instagram or Twitter and said that he had relations with her as a minor and all this stuff. Turns out that they shut him down too. Like, he was not suspended, but he was like taken out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. Turns out that it was not factual. And then Ian Cole was allowed to join his team again and all that. But this is why you do the research, to find out what's true and what isn't. Again, if it's true, he needs help.
Yep.
In a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
If it isn't true, then he needs to also have that go very public too.
Yeah. Yeah, because if it isn't true, his name should be cleared in all this. If it's the other side. Either way, not a good look overall, and the Rays are in the midst of, a postseason run. Not saying that that's more important, but the timing of this is kind of interesting too. Mm-hmm. The other big story that just came out this morning is that Michael Orr is alleging that the couple that took him in when he was in high school and eventually went into Ole Miss, the Tui family, well, they didn't adopt him. They essentially exploited him, is what Michael Orr is alleging. It's this conservators, apparently, is what it is.
Basically, it's like what Britney Spears had, where you can manage all business purposes for that individual because they're not able to do it for themselves.
Correct. That's not what the movie The Blind Side portrayed.
No.
The movie The Blind Side portrayed, of course, The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, portrayed this wealthy family bringing in this, poor kid that did not, have a good family life, and they basically put him on the football team and all this stuff. A lot of people saw The Blind Side. That's not, according to Michael Orr, what the true story is. This is from the ESPN article. This is the one that really, this paragraph really stood out to me, Jamie. But there are some important legal distinctions. If Orr had been adopted by the Tuohys, he would have been a legal member of their family, and he would have retained power to handle his own financial affairs. Under the conservatorship, Orr surrendered that authority to the Tuohys, even though he was a legal adult with no known physical or psychological disabilities. So the Tuohys went to him and said, you know what, it's basically like adopting, but we're going to do it this way. And then the movie came out, they made a bunch of money, and apparently Orr saw none of it.
Well, and they're continuing to get residual checks to every member in the family, including the two kids.
Yeah, they're like millionaires.
And the guy who the story's about is making zero.
Correct. And that's what Orr's alleging, and now they're suing. Orr's saying, hey,
he's alleging
you owe me a
something
lot.
that's actually true. Like, I know it's allegations at this point, but that's not a lie. That part's accurate. And apparently he's really pissed about the way they portrayed him in the movie as not being a very intelligent person and whatnot. He said that actually hindered him down the road, that some teams, when they would talk to his agent or whatever, they figured, well, maybe he can't retain the playbook. Maybe
Yeah. He has never liked that movie. I remember when that movie first came out. He was quiet about it. He was a member of the Ravens.
Yeah.
They talked to him. I remember reading articles. Hey, what's your reaction to it? This is kind of a good story. You want to talk? And he did not want anything to do with the movie. That has been consistent. Now, you might say, well, why did it take so long to, sue them or whatever? Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't know. You're a kid. You're worried about just maybe making it to the NFL. You're trusting these adults. And then it takes you as an adult, people telling you, hey, this isn't right. And then after that, it takes a little while. Hey, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. And then it finally clicks for you, and you say, okay, now I'm pissed, and now I'm gonna make these moves. So the fact that it's been a while here, I don't know how many, 10 years over that now, maybe even 20. I could see how that would play out. And maybe there's a portion of him for a while. It's like, I just want this to go away. Fine, those people can do whatever they want. But now he wants. He wants retribution here. He wants his money back. He wants something.
Well, maybe there are other things too. So the conservatorship is not limited or isolated to this movie.
Right.
So what else was opened? What else was built using Michael Orr's name?
Well, she's got she's a motivational speaker and all this stuff. So his likeness is probably being used all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How many doors were opened because they were using his name?
Totally.
And then how many businesses did they start? And apparently they've got foundations and all this stuff. And it's like, he has no say in it at all. So all of this is probably, over the course of time, just kind of picked up speed. And he was probably focused on Blindside, the movie, and then was like, wait a minute. There are all these branches off the tree that are all attached to my name, and I have no power over any of it.
Yeah.
And then I think that the tipping point for him was to find out that he actually was never adopted.
Right.
That's when it was like, wait, what? So, yeah, it's a weird, I'll never watch that movie again.
No, I won't either. I'm with you.
I really won't.
Yeah.
That would stink, though, to have so much trust in these people when you're younger and you're at a vulnerable age, and then to come find out that they have been somewhat leeching off of your success.
Oh, they absolutely did. Plus, they manipulated you.
That's the worst feeling.
You're a kid. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know the difference.
Tough background, all that stuff. Like, it was a way out for him,
right?
And he got absolutely manipulated in it.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad on all fronts. So we'll see what happens here with the Michael Orr situation. Now, he wrote a book. He also talked about in his book how, there's a lot of things that, as Jamie noted, that was portrayed in the movie that, didn't actually happen, or they exaggerated it or whatever. This is a wild story. But these two people leached on to Michael Orr from the Ole Miss days on. They were there with him at Parents' Day at Ole Miss. There's pictures of it. And then there's stuff.
Well, they're on stage with them at the Super Bowl.
Well, on stage with them, too, at the NFL Draft.
Yeah, but they're on stage with them at the Super Bowl. confetti all over them. Like, what the hell are we doing here?
Unbelievable. And one other note, Carson Kelly of the Arizona Diamondbacks, although I guess not anymore, he was DFA'd.
What happened there?
He didn't work out.
He was the guy that for a while people were like, yeah, this should have been the Cardinals catcher. Now he's DFA'd. That means now, if you go back, I believe it means that the Cardinals traded nothing for Paul Goldschmidt.
Correct. Yeah. And I know a lot of people don't want to give Mo any sort of credit for that at all because it was a layup. It was easy. You still had to orchestrate that deal. That deal, the Arizona Diamondbacks, think about it from their standpoint. They got nothing for Paul Goldschmidt. That would be like the Cardinals getting nothing for Nolan Arenado if they decided to trade him today. That is brutal. So instead of jump-starting their rebuild, they got nothing out of that deal. And the Cardinals got the MVP last year and a player that has maintained excellent play since they acquired him. So, good for the Cardinals. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Are we seeing a star in the making with Lars Nootbaar? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Boy.
Cardinals are down 3. The throw into second is late. Ball gets away. Newt's going to try for third. Flip to third is safe. He got under the tag.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm grinding. I'm grinding.
Nice. We didn't get that earlier in the lineup game here in the Fast Lane. 301, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Lars Nootbaar, you heard Chip Carey over the weekend announce some of his calls. And Lars Nootbaar since July 1st, gentlemen. 319 is what he's hitting. 30 runs scored, 8 home runs, 16 driven in, a 414 on base, a 986 OPS. He's on a 33 home run, 125 runs scored season-long pace during that time, just during that time frame. Not he's on pace for that right now. But if you look at even his advanced metrics, guys, you're looking at an absolute stud over the last 30 days or so. In his last, 113 plate appearances, he has a 186 WRC plus, a 186 WRC plus. That's 86 percentage points higher than average. Average is 100. This guy has been an absolute stud for the Cardinals. So are we seeing a star in the making when it comes to the Newt?
Apparently so. I mean, I wasn't sold. Following his second half of the season last year, I thought this is a guy that can compete for an outfield spot. Mm-hmm. Then he went to the World Baseball Classic and became an international superstar based upon everything that happened there. But I still wasn't sold. For me, it wasn't automatic, and I wasn't alone on that. There are a lot of national baseball people that said he's the third or fourth outfielder. He's fighting for a job. While the Cardinals had him pegged in, he's got a job. I wasn't there. I was wrong. Obviously. Look, his defense plays. He's got good speed in the outfield. He plays all three positions very well. He's got a good arm from the outfield, so when he's in right field, he can gun down people. And his bat's playing right now. He steals some bases. I'm very impressed. Not that I owe him any kind of an apology, but I was wrong in my assessment. And even up to a couple of weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, still I'm just, hey, he's fine. He's fine. He's better than fine. His numbers make him elite.
Yeah. This is where I think Brandon Kiley has been spot on about Newt. If he were hyped up like a top prospect, like Dylan Carlson for that matter, if John Mozeliak said, you're going to have to rip Lars Nootbaar to my cold, dead hands, and we were talking about him, I think maybe the hype would be more. Instead, this is a guy that came out of nowhere last year. He had a pretty good spring training last year. Was a fourth outfielder, but kind of, he got sent down at one point, then he came back up. And then post All-Star break, he was a revelation, but he was overlooked because Albert was doing his thing. Mm-hmm. But there's only two things that have really maintained itself since the second half of last year. One's bad, unfortunately, and one is good. The good is Lars Nootbaar. He has continued his play from the All-Star break on. Adam Wainwright's the bad. Adam Wainwright over his last 7 starts was not good last year, and that's just unfortunately followed him into spring training, the WBC, and now into the regular season. And we talked about Waino earlier. But Lars Nootbaar has emerged as a mainstay in this outfield. He's somebody that you can bat leadoff and feel great about it. Today he's batting 7th because Tommy Edman is leading off against the left-hander. So what? But Jamie, his numbers are elite right now, and he's only 25. We're not talking about a late bloomer here. We're not talking about, how old is Lane Thomas? I think Lane Thomas is maybe 28.
Yeah.
He has emerged later on in his career, and for he's 27, and for a bad team. Lars Nootbaar is playing for a bad team now, but the Cardinals are expected to be in a playoff contention again next year, hopefully, knock on wood. And this is a 25-year-old cost control player that you can count on that's hitting in a crucial spot in the lineup. The Cardinals have stumbled on us to a really good player here.
What do you say about people who say that until it's for an entire year, that it's just not true yet? Because we have a couple of texts like that, and we have some texts that are supportive of Newt, saying that he's a star, and other ones that say, you know what, let's just pump the brakes a little bit.
If Jordan Walker were doing what Lars Nootbaar is now, what would you be saying? would you still be questioning the full season? And I'm asking honestly.
No,
I'm not trying to pick a fight.
Jordan Walker's 21.
But how excited would you be for Jordan Walker's 21, a top prospect, somebody that you knew about coming up?
Yeah.
You didn't know about Lars unless you were following the Cardinals minor league system.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about Lars.
You knew about Lars, but not the common Cardinals fan, maybe not. But Jordan Walker at 21, if you were doing this, I don't know if people would be saying, well, we'll see, full season.
Well, some would for sure, because that's just the way they're wired.
Sure. That's a good point.
No,
he's got 376 plate appearances this year, and he's been a stud.
I'm right there with you, and I'm admitting that I was not negative on Lars Nootbaar, but I wasn't sold. Now he's your best outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
He's your number one.
We could do the comparison thing, by the way. Paul Goldschmidt has 514 plate appearances. So, for all intents and purposes, Paul Goldschmidt is the Cardinals' Iron Man. He's got a WRC plus this year of 123. I'll just use that metric because, again, regular listeners know that's kind of like the all-encompassing how good are you at generating runs and offense for your team. Yeah. Whether that's home runs, doubles, RBI, all that stuff. And it's park adjusted, okay? So let's just look at one statistic, not 482. WRC plus, Paul Goldschmidt is a 123 over 514 plate appearances, okay? Nolan Arenado has played the second most games. He's got the second most plate appearances at 478. He's got a 127 WRC plus. Gorman, 406. What's 406 minus 376, Jamie? 2430? So 30.
Yeah.
So Gorman has only 30 more plate appearances than Nootbaar. And nobody's questioning Gorman. He's got a WRC plus of 122. Nootbaar's is 132. He's better than all the guys I just mentioned for that metric. But we're not questioning Gorman over, we'll wait over the full season. It feels like it hasn't been a full season for Nootbaar because he's been hurt and his PAs are down. But overall, man, when he is playing, he's been great.
Yeah.
So that's how I would answer that.
Yeah. We have another one on here that says that, if you have to dive into the numbers, then that player's not great. It should be an easy one. I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know either.
Because, what's your comparable then?
Shohei?
Yeah, but even Shohei has the numbers.
But I guess is what we're judging this off of. That text is basically saying. Now maybe I'm sorry. Hold on. Actually, what I think they probably mean, in fairness, is whether or not he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That does. That makes sense. I don't think Lars Nootbaar.
No, there was definitely a star player. They said, if you have to dive into the numbers.
I gotcha. I think
not a star player.
That makes more sense. I gotcha. I took it almost like if he doesn't pass the eye test, he's not a good player. But I understand what they're saying.
But I would push back on that because he is by far the most recognizable Cardinal worldwide.
Right, because he played in the WBC.
But he is.
Yeah.
So your star players, what are they?
Recognizable.
Yeah. So he's got good numbers. He's got good player numbers, but maybe Lars is a star because of the whole grind and the pepper WBC.
What if you just looked at it from the U.S. standpoint, though?
But still, look at down in Tampa. He hits a home run. They're yelling, "No!" I know there's Cardinal fans down there, but every freaking stadium he goes to, they're yelling "Newt."
I just think if you poll 10 Seattle Mariners fans, they're going to know Nolan Arenado. They might not all know.
I would push back on that.
Okay, well, there's only one way to figure this out. You got to drive out there, and you got to basically do the homework.
Marshy, this break, you're going to go downstairs here. You're going to find 10 people who aren't from St. Louis. There's got to be at least 10 walking around. And you're going to ask them. We'll get to the bottom of this, Anthony.
We should phrase it as name one Cardinal player.
Yeah.
How many Paul Goldschmidts and Nolan Arenados and even Adam Wainwright's do you hear before Newt?
I could just ask my Minnesota friends.
There you go.
I'll just shoot a quick text in the break, see what they say.
There you go. Who's the most recognizable Cardinal this season?
Should I say that? Or?
No, just say when you think of it.
That's a dumb way to word it.
Okay, take it easy there, jerk pants. Phrase it this way. Who's the one Cardinal that comes to mind for you?
Lars Nootbaar. Oh, you weren't asking me.
Yeah, this year, like current Cardinals players, who comes to mind first? It's going to be Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado.
Someone says look up jersey sales. But how do we get jersey sales worldwide?
I don't know.
Because I guarantee that people in Japan are eating up Ohtani and Nootbaar jerseys.
Sales.
So which current Cardinal player is the most recognizable?
Yeah. No. Which current Cardinal? Which current player do you think of when you think of the Cardinals?
Okay.
Something like that.
There we go.
All right. I'm trying to look up jerseys. I feel like we're in the weeds now.
We're totally in the weeds.
Whatever. MLB top jerseys by player. How about that? Shohei Ohtani's 1. Jose Altuve's 2. Yordan Alvarez is 3. Bregman is 4. Judge is 5. Trout is 6. Betts is 7. Turner is 8. Lindor is 9. Julio Rodriguez is 10. They only got 10 guys. I don't know.
All right. It has been sent.
All right.
We'll see. Marsh has the official poll going on with his buddies.
Yeah.
He's polling his guys right now. So
yes, he should.
We'll find out the results. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Will free agency look different next year for the Blues? We're already into free agency next year. That's next on 101 ESPN.
$5,000 to book today.
Happy summer, everybody in St. Louis. What better time than right now to go purchase a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, for that matter, at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Let's talk about Johnny Londoff, the individual, just for a second. The family, first of all, has been in business for over 80 years, and the Londoff family have been supporting the St. Louis area in many ways, not just with new vehicles, but also with different charities and events and sponsorships. I was just at one recently, the Action for Autism, and the Londoff Chevrolet family was there with 3 tables, and they were a massive sponsor. So not only do they provide the best vehicles in St. Louis, they're great people as well. And you walk into a Londoff Chevrolet dealership, and you know you're there because they greet you with a smile. They want to help you out. And they've got 2 locations now. The Londoff Autoplex in St. Peters, Missouri, and the original Londoff right there in Florissant, Missouri. Please walk in, say hi, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in, and then let them know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. They want to help you. They're going to treat you like family. They're going to make sure you leave there happy and satisfied, and they can't wait for you to go back and buy your next vehicle from Londoff Chevrolet. So please get there in person, but if you can't get there in person, get there online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. Marsh, you were kind of looking at free agency based on Jeremy Rutherford's latest article with The Athletic, and you were thinking about how it relates to the Blues next year.
The Athletic did come out with an article today, and it basically goes over every single team and who is going to be a free agent next season. The Blues, and it's broken up into different tiers about where the teams rank in terms of Stanley Cup winners or contenders. Then you have the second tier team, and then the bottom tier. The Blues are in that bottom tier. Next year, they're one player that stands out that they list is Jakub Vrana. But I just wanted to go over some of these free agent names and see if there's any interest for the Blues next season, and if anything changes from what we saw this season. Obviously, the cap is going up, but are the Blues in a situation to where they can go out and make their team better in free agency next season compared to what they did this year?
All right, let's hear the names. Without further ado, let's get at it.
All right, well, let's just start. I'm not going to read all of these. I want to highlight some of the top ones. But you have, of course, Austin Matthews, William Nylander. I think we could go ahead and...
I want Matthews, guys.
Yeah, I want him at, you know what? He's going to love the zoo. Let's get him for about $4 million.
Yeah, I think that if and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not the hockey guy, Jamie. You played a long time in the league. I think if the Blues were to get Austin Matthews, they're a better team.
I mean, it's a tough call, Anthony. You might be right, yeah.
Okay.
But he's going to be about $16 million on the cap, so let's pump the brakes on that one.
Okay. What about William Nylander? I know that's a name that has been thrown around. Oh, the Blues should go get this guy. I don't know if I'm big on him.
I'm not at all. He's a very talented player. There's no doubt about it. He scores, he puts up points, but he also disappears for extended periods of time. And he's making $6.9 million now. I believe the Maple Leafs offered him a long-term deal worth pretty good money, but he wants to make $10 million. He wants to make $10 million a year.
Yeah.
No thanks. I can't do it. You're not going to have the cap space. First of all, I don't care how much the cap is going up. It's going to be $4 or $5 million. Mm-hmm. You're already up against it right now as the Blues. And you don't have that one guy that's completely out-kicking everybody on the team. You've got Kyrou and Thomas. They're the highest-paid guys. But even after that, the drop-off isn't that significant. I mean, you got Braden Shen, and you got all the $6.5 millioners, right? Like, it's $1.5 million difference, which it's a lot of money. But as far as cap is concerned, it's not. You get up to the $10.5 million. It's a big gap, and he's not that player for me.
Right.
He's not. If he was Matthew Tkachuk, I'd sit here and say, you know what? I need to sell Doug Armstrong on this player. It's not. Mm-hmm. So for me, William Nylander would be a pass.
So before we continue down this list of players for next year, do you see if the Blues are going to throw their hand in this free agent pool? Are they looking for a forward? Are they looking for a defenseman? Are they completely out on the defense, trying to sign a guy? You already get rid of one defensive contract, and you're kind of caught up with a bunch of defensemen. Do you want to go throw money at another guy? Or are you just looking at forwards?
Well, you can't throw money at anybody. You can't. On the defensive side of things, you have Bortuzzo and Scandella that will be unrestricted, and Calle Rosen, but you've still got all your main guys that
exactly.
are 6 foot. So you can't really dive into that. The only way you get into signing a defenseman is if Army's able to trade one of those contracts either before this season starts or at the trade deadline. And again, they have no trade clauses, so that might be difficult for Army to do, but that's the only way you're diving into the defenseman pool. Up front, you're losing, as of right now, unrestricted, Kapanen, Vrana, Sammy Blais, Oscar Sundqvist. Mm-hmm. So you're diving into the forward pool for sure, depending on how big Kapanen and Vrana play for your team, too. If both of these guys get in and around 20 goals each, you got to go find 20 goal scorers, two of them, to replace what you had. Now, maybe it's a situation where Kapanen and Vrana want to stay as St. Louis Blues players, and they're, right now, respectively, they're making 3.2 and 2.6, but let's not forget that their salary that's been eaten too.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking at the 5-6 $7 million range as well if they're getting 20 goals plus for the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But they definitely have some holes to fill up front moving into not this season, but the following season.
Another one of these teams, the Boston Bruins, Jake DeBrusk is a name that I believe maybe the Blues were connected to over the course of the past 2 years. He, I believe at the time, wanted out of Boston. That might not be the case anymore due to the season that they had, but he is a 20-goal scorer. I think he had 27 goals last season, 50 points. Another player that I don't think is going to break the bank necessarily, but could be a good player for you.
Depending on what he does this year coming up, if he has a repeat performance or even better slightly, he's probably looking at $6.5 million for his next contract, and he's going to want that 6, 7, 8 year deal. He'll only get the 8 year deal with the Bruins, but he'll be looking for a long-term deal. He makes $4 million currently, so he would be looking at a pay increase. But I like the player. He plays very well. He's a good power play guy. He scores goals off the rush. Good skater. Good hockey sense. Would he fit in? But I think Jake DeBrusk only comes in here, or you only go looking at a Jake DeBrusk if a Kapanen or Verana don't pan out for you, or they decide to walk. Because essentially, in and around it, you could have similar players there. And I think you get them cheaper. I think you get them for less than you'd get Jake DeBrusk.
Yeah.
And a lot of these players, for the most part, they're getting up there in age, which doesn't really fit what Doug Armstrong was looking for. I looked at another player on this list from Pittsburgh, Jake Gensel, who's had a lot of success in the playoffs. Of course, he's been playing with Sidney Crosby for his entire career, so that definitely helps. But he had 73 points last season, and he would be, I believe, 29 years old when this is all said and done. Could fit in that age range. What do you think about him?
I like Gensel. He's got good speed. He's obviously got good offensive instincts. So yeah, he would fit in fine. I'll pull up, what he's making. Did you have what he's making right now, Marshy? I'm not sure if I missed that, but I got pulling up right now on Cap Friendly, and Jake Gensel is making. Well, let's see here. Where is he at now?
So he's in Pittsburgh. He's making $6 million.
He must have finished on the IR. There he did. Yeah, he's making $6 million. Woof. He's going to want a pay raise. See, all of this is tough. Like, Army's got to try and almost dive into the pool again of finding that reclamation project type thing, because it's going to be hard. Like, $6 million, and Jake Gensel has the year. Like, you can't forget here now, too, Erik Karlsson's in Pittsburgh. They're going to be a really offensive team. Crosby, Malkin, yes, they're getting older, but those guys can still put up points.
Yeah.
And Gensel's still going to play on one of their lines. He's going to be looking $7-8 million a year. Are you willing to give Jake Gensel what you're giving Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou at 29? I don't know. It's where the salaries come into it. That's where we're at now at the NHL. Is the salary cap plays a big part in how you're going to build your roster.
Right.
And when you get these players, it's turned a little bit like baseball, to where some of the players that are at the point where you don't really want to give them an extended contract, but you almost have to get them. And you're paying off of like what they've done before more than what they can do for you like long term.
That's why free agency isn't the best way to build your team.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
And I wonder,
shorter term deals are often better. Making trades with cost control players are typically better to build a foundation. But fans love free agency because it provides your team with hope.
And I wonder if with the cap going up, I feel like some Blues fans could be, the cap's going up, so we'll have more money to play around with. I think some of these players are probably going to ask for a little bit more money, knowing that the cap is going up. They're going to overvalue
Every single
themselves.
player is going to look at this. I can tell you right now, I know this for a fact, talking to several agents in the business. Next year is going to be opening up the floodgates, because it has been a flat cap or very minimal cap increase since the pandemic. And next year is supposed to go up 4 or 5 million. Some say maybe 6. These players are going to look at that like it's the lottery. And the problem the Blues have is right now, currently, they sit at $293,000 in cap space, and they haven't added any real heavy contracts to their team. So can you imagine adding a Gensel or a Nylander? There goes your cap space.
Right, you're done.
all on one player.
Yeah.
So it's kind of risky.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. The college football top 25 poll has been released, the initial poll. So we'll get into whether or not we think Georgia can three-peat, which teams out of the top four won't be there when it comes to the postseason, and some other top 25 related questions next on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, are you out there using ED meds? Well, fine. Nobody cares at all. All that matters is that you're ready when it's game time. But what we do care about is that you're paying too much for your ED meds. The Medicine Shop in St. Charles, they're your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Again, I've told you this before. I've seen it advertised, some pretty good prices, but I have not seen anybody with it for less than $2 a pill. That's the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. Prescription is required, and they also, for any other medicines that you require, they've got free, discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace. I talk about this all the time. Busy schedules, kids' activities, just life in general. Sometimes it's tough to get to the pharmacy. Don't worry about it. They'll bring it to you. And they also have a full pharmacy. So if you're looking to get into the Medicine Shop in St. Charles, go visit. It's a beautiful place. They've got everything ready there for you. They're going to answer all your questions. The customer service is absolutely fantastic. My pharmacy family is what I call them. They're going to treat you just unbelievable. Please tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if you can't get there in person for whatever reason, get there online. Visit them at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards split with the Royals after winning 5-4 on Saturday. They had yesterday off, but they're back in action tonight, taking on the Oakland Athletics. Miles Michaelis is on the mound, going up against J.P. Sears. First pitch is at 6:45. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You can find the full show there. The podcast is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh, and the top 25 rankings came out in college football. And no surprise, Georgia is at the top after winning the last 2 years. I think they had 60-some-odd votes for first place. So Georgia winds up being number one. Michigan is number 2. Ohio State is 3. Alabama is 4, and LSU is 5. So that's your top 5. LSU. Did I say LSU?
You did.
Yeah,
Anthony.
LSU 5. Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 6 is USC. Number 7 is Penn State. Number 8 is Florida State. Number 9 is Clemson. Number 10 is Washington. So that's the rest of your top 10. All right, boys. As we mentioned, Georgia's number 1. Would you take the Bulldogs to three-peat or the rest of the field to win this year's national championship?
The rest of the field.
You're just going on sheer odds.
Yeah.
Sure percentages.
Yeah. I don't even care. Somebody's going to beat them this year. We talked about this, not ad nauseum, but quite a bit, that it's going to be a very competitive college football season for some of the big dogs. I think there'll be a big...
like what you did there with the dogs.
Yes, you're welcome. I think that there'll be a big gap from like 10 to the rest of the field. You know, I think there's going to be a big drop-off after that point. Could be wrong. But I think, you know, the Michigans, the Ohio States, Alabama, LSU, USC in particular, I find them to be intriguing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, does Georgia have the team to three-peat? Yeah, they do. But I'm going to go with the odds.
What about you, Marsh?
I think they're going to three-peat this year. I think it's going to be a fun college football season. Hell, Georgia might even lose a game.
What?
But I still think they end up getting in the top 4. And they're a team that once they're there, they know how to win, right? The regular season is a regular season, but when you get into playoff type football, they know how to win, and these other teams don't. And it's as simple as that. I don't care how good Michigan is. Michigan has proved to you time and time again that they can't win on the big stage. Okay, they beat Ohio State a few times when they couldn't for God knows how long. But when they couldn't
I like salty Marshy.
Michigan, to me, is like the Michigan football, at least, is the college version of the Dallas Cowboys for me. I just... Until
a lot of tradition, a lot of hype, but...
Exactly. Yeah. Until these teams can prove otherwise, I'm going with Georgia.
I love Georgia, but winning 3 national championships in a row, I think, is going to be very difficult. I just think that overall, it's going to be a challenge for them. They're going from, and we talked a lot about the Ravens and Todd Monken. Todd Monken was hired by the Ravens to be their offense coordinator to build an offense for Lamar Jackson. Well, now they're going from Todd Monken to Mike Bobo. There's a transition there. Quarterback, obviously, they're transitioning. They've got loads of talents and some of the best skill position players in the nation when you're talking about Brock Bowers and McConkey and then Lovett. I mean, they're loaded. But I'm with Jamie on this. I wonder if the competition has narrowed that gap and they get tripped up in the playoffs. They nearly did last year. I mean, Ohio State seemingly had them dead to rights. Late in the third quarter, I thought it was going to be Ohio State that won that game. But Georgia. To your point, Marsh, they know how to win. But I'm going to take the field, too, on that. All right, top 4 teams are as follows. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama. What's the team, and Marsh may have just answered this, what's the team that's the best bet to not make to not be in the top 4 by the end of the regular season? Chances are multiple teams won't be in the top 4, but if you were to pick just one, who would that be?
One of those 4?
One of those 4. To not be in the top 4 when it's all said and done.
This might be unpopular. It might be crazy, but I'm going to say Alabama. Who's their quarterback?
Yeah.
Like they're handing the ball to somebody brand new. Mm-hmm. Now, I know they've had a stable, and it seems like, every quarterback's just as good as the one before. But to me, that could take some time. You might have some growing pains. You might have a couple of bumps in the road.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's Alabama.
Either way, it's going to be either a redshirt sophomore or freshman.
It's Crimson. Crimson shirt.
Crimson tide. Yeah. Red shirt. Yeah, crimson.
Crimson.
A crimson freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Anthony, you think I'm probably going to pick Michigan. I'm actually not picking Michigan.
What? So you just like them to get to the big stage and then fail?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going with Ohio State. Ryan Day and the Buckeyes are waiting for consistency to emerge in their quarterback battle. And you've said time and time again, if you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. So for that, I'm out.
Okay. So you're going to take Ohio State. I was leaning Ohio State, but I think that Alabama has got more questions than normal. It's not just the quarterback spot. Their offense, I think, has got some massive questions beyond just the quarterback. Obviously, that's the big one. But Tommy Rees is their new play caller. That's going to be a transition. I think they're probably going to lean heavily on the ground game, which is, no problem. Alabama, before they started to get more into the spread, was a ground-first team. But when you run the ball consistently, you wind up playing in closer games. Less explosive plays, wind up playing in tighter games in the fourth quarter, and I think that's going to make Alabama susceptible to a handful, maybe not a handful of losses, but two losses and you're done in the playoffs. So I think that Alabama is going to be the team that's not in that top 4 when it's all said and done. All right, which team's numbers 5 through 10 is the best chance of cracking the top 4 by the end of the regular season? Again, that's LSU, USC, Penn State, Florida State, Clemson, and Washington. Well, and you may have tipped your hand earlier on this.
I've been on that Trojan horse.
Yeah, yeah.
USC, to me, that's the team that can not only get in, I think they can make some noise. I think with the offense that they're going to have, it's going to be a handful for a lot of teams. And I see USC breaking the top 4. I won't go beyond that because, who knows, but they're my team.
Yeah, I think it has to be USC. LSU is ranked 5, so if the question is who could get to the top 4 first by the end of the regular season, not be in the top 4 at the end of the regular season, obviously LSU has a better chance if one of those top 4 teams loses. I think LSU is going to lose week 1 to Florida State.
Wow.
It seems like one of these teams in the top 10, they always play that big matchup first week, and someone gets upset. I think LSU is that team that ends up getting upset by Florida State.
Okay.
So USC is my team.
I am taking LSU.
Okay.
We saw the growing pains throughout the course of the year last year with Brian Kelly in his first year. Started off the very first game, they got upset by Florida State. And it wound up being a game where, they missed the extra point, and it was like, okay, this is off. Brian Kelly, embarrassment, all this. And then you kind of forgot about him because of that. But they slowly got better throughout the course of the year. Their offensive line is one of the best in the SEC. They've got, Jaden Daniels, who progressed last year. I think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the conference. The talent is there defensively, even though they got like a complete overhaul going on in the secondary. I think LSU is going to make a lot of noise this year, and I think LSU can crack the top 4 when it's all said and done. Which team do you believe is ranked too high to start the season? This is tough because obviously you're talking about preseason rankings. We haven't seen these teams. You got to kind of go back a little bit last year, but it's a fun question nonetheless.
Which team where in the top 10, top 5? Like
we can go in the top 10.
Okay.
We can limit it to the top 10.
Wow. I guess based upon my initial thoughts, Alabama. Alabama's ranked too high. If I'm sitting here talking about the one that's going to be out, that they're obviously ranked too high.
Yeah.
I would put LSU and USC ahead of them right now.
I think that's fair.
Is that a massive drop-off? No, but you know,
I
how
think,
much movement are you going to have in the top 10?
Jamie, to your point, you look at Alabama and their ranking largely is based on reputation. They have deserved that. You know, they have deserved the benefit of the doubt because of Nick Saban, the way he recruits, the way that even though they go through transition every single year, they're always a college football national championship contender. But this year, again, I think you're right. They've got a lot of potential question marks heading into the year, perhaps more so, I think, than in previous years. Maybe it just feels that way, and we're always kind of looking at this with Bama, but I think they're going to have some growing pains this year. So that's a good one.
I'm with Alabama, too.
Same idea?
Same idea.
You know, for me, just based on the health of Cameron Rising, I think Utah might be a little too high. Their defense is going to be one of the best in the top 10. Their offensive line is excellent. Like they're a top 10 team, ... unless Rising isn't healthy. This is a kid that tore his ACL last year in the Rose Bowl loss to Penn State. So how quickly he gets back and whether or not the schedule sets up where they can overcome that, I think Utah might be a little higher. All right, which team do you believe is ranked a little too low? I'm going to go with Texas. I think they're ranked low because they lost Bijan Robinson, they lost Quinn Ewers, their quarterback. But I think that Steve Sarkisian has got Texas back on the map, and it's only a matter of time here before that talent translates on the field, and Texas is a powerhouse again.
Texas was my pick on that one. As soon as I saw them at 11. One, I know it's not a big deal, but I thought for sure they're a top 10 team, but I actually thought that they're somewhere in the 6-7 range.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
Marsh, you got one?
I think USC is ranked too low. I think they should be at least in top 5, at least. Especially with Caleb Williams being the returner of the Heisman Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of hype around him. I'm surprised that they're at 6.
Their offense is going to be one of the most explosive and most fun to watch in the nation. I don't know if their defense is going to make these marked improvements. But if they do, if the defense is better than it was a year ago, and their offense doesn't outpace their defense like we were talking about last week, USC's going to be a lot of fun to watch each and every year. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Besides the Braves, which playoff contending team can the Cardinals realistically emulate? Well, the Braves are the model, but who else could the Cardinals emulate? We'll talk about that next on 101 ESPN. save this topic that we had about the contending teams and which one the Cardinals can kind of realistically emulate, because we've got some breaking news regarding the Cardinals. Steven Matz was just placed on the IL. Just when you start to appreciate Steven Matz, guys, he winds up going on the IL. He's become your favorite player, Jamie.
Well, he's been pitching very well, obviously. It's been quite the turnaround for him since his relegation or his placement in the bullpen. So this sucks for the Cardinals. This is one more thing that they've got to deal with, because now what?
Well, we'll get into that in a second. So Steven Matz, left lat strain, has been placed on the 15-day IL. So there's a couple of things here. So now what? Now you have another opportunity to maybe get a longer look at Zach Thompson, right? That's one thing. So in the short term, you say, okay, good, fine. It sucks because Steven Matz was pitching well and he was kind of enjoyable every 5 days. But at least you got a spot open. Young guy can occupy that spot. Hopefully it's Zach Thompson. If they go with one of these gas cans that they signed, and I'm saying that with all due respect, but if they go with one of these gas cans that they signed over the last 30 days or so, give me a break. Come on. Let's go here with one of these young guys. However, here's a bigger concern for me. This guy can't stay healthy.
Who?
Steven Matz.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean, oh, come on? He missed all last year. He's hurt again this year.
That was a whole year ago.
Yeah, you're right. He missed basically the whole year. This is supposed to be probably your number 2 behind Ace Miles Michaelis next year.
Well, they're the only 2 you have right now.
Exactly. And he can't stay healthy. He's got a left lat strain now.
Yeah, that sucks too, because I know exactly how that happened. It's left lat. He's a lefty. He's throwing yeah, it happens. But
when it happens, it
does.
It hurts. His left lat strain and what it means to this team now.
Well, so let's talk about that for a second. What direction do you want the team to go in with this? Where?
I want them to give Zach Thompson an extended look. That's what I want. Or bring up one of these minor league guys.
That's where I'm at. I want to see what you've got in McGreevy, Graceffo, or one of the guys you just traded for.
Yeah, one of the 14.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you got here?
Mm-hmm.
You got Waino still, that's a question mark. Now you got Steven Matz that's hurt, so you could potentially have 2 spots in your rotation that need fixing. And then does this actually make your decision with Waino harder now? Because with Steven Matz out of your rotation, Waino is, for process of elimination, he's ranked up to, he's 4th guy now in your rotation. He's not the 5th guy anymore. So now does that make it harder for Ollie Marmol to move him to the bullpen? Waino's like, what are you talking about? You moving to the bullpen? We're missing another guy.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're not going to get any clarity on anything this year with the Cardinals. It's all just muddied from the beginning to now, and it'll end that way this year.
Well, Jamie, I think, your version of things with Waino takes a hit with this. My version of just
let him ride it out
is not impacted.
I know.
But you wanted to shift that absolute legend to the pen.
That's where he needs to be. If he's going to get 2 wins, that's where he needs to be, Anthony. I'm just being honest.
Your belief in Waino has never been lower.
I believe he can get 2 wins coming out of the bullpen.
Okay. And I believe somebody can win tickets right now to see their St. Louis Blues. Okay? Because we here in the Fast Lane have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the St. Louis Blues take on the Arizona Coyotes on October 19th at Enterprise Center. Hockey season will be here before we know it, and we have your chance to celebrate with tickets. Free tickets, boys. That's right. So
the best kind.
Yeah. So here's your trivia question. As we know, Jamie Rivers ruined the Arizona Coyotes. He ruined the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah.
Who then had to change their name because they thought maybe they would eliminate the
Move
ghost.
to a different rink, lose their rink, all sorts of stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Eliminate the bad vibes that Jamie Rivers brought to them, and they'll just go to the Arizona Coyotes. What jersey number did our guy Jamie Rivers wear with the Arizona Coyotes? So if you have that correct answer, 314-399-9646, that's the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in your answer to win that pair of tickets for Blues and Coyotes. If you're streaming online, you're like, well, there's a delay. No problem. This is why we say you got to be the 101st texter, so we let it kind of come in here. And Mike Ryder does a great job of letting the text roll in and then seeing who's the 101st texter. 314-399-9646. Which jersey number did Jamie Rivers wear as a member of the Arizona Coyotes? Single game tickets for the Blues 2023-24 season go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. This season is staked with great giveaway nights, including the Bennington Champs Parade bobblehead and new and returning theme nights. You can check out the full promotion schedule and secure your seats for the upcoming season at stlouisblues.com. today. Again, that's stlouisblues.com. Today, we'll tell you who the winner is in a couple of segments. Marsh, you ready?
I think I'm as ready as I can be.
Marsh is staked with the most important thing ever.
Oh, we still got, what's his name coming back?
Yeah, it's a Gauntlet trophy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here's one more breaking news here. Local product, Ezekiel Elliott agrees to a deal with the Patriots. So Zeke is going with the Patriots.
$6 million or something like that? I just read that. It's like $6 million.
Okay. So Zeke has a new home. It's going to be with Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
Does that make them a better team?
Probably.
Yeah.
How does that affect Ramondre Stevenson?
I think that's a great landing spot for Zeke. I think Zeke at this point, at this stage, and I'm not going on a limb by saying this, needs to be in a 2 running back system. And with Ramondre Stevenson, the clear RB1, I think he's a solid RB2. So I like that landing spot for Zeke. Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, the baseball season is heading into the backstretch. Get in on all the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. You're probably wondering, well, what does that mean?
What does that mean, Jamie?
Well, that means that you get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/fast and join today.
Yeah, that's right. So don't miss your chance to get that no-sweat first bet that Jamie just told you about. It's up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/fast to sign up. Again, FanDuel.com/fast to sign up. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission for FanDuel. But when it comes to FanDuel, they got all the odds. You got home run props. You got first hit props.
All the props.
They've got, they got your regular money lines and your totals, but they got World Series futures. They've got
strikeouts.
Also, they got the same game parlays. FanDuel's got it all, Jamie. So again, that promotion, FanDuel.com/fast to get your $1,000 when you join FanDuel today.
21 and older, present in Illinois, first online real money wager, $10 deposit required. Refund issues now with travel bonus bets that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
categories, one challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
All right. Gauntlet time, and a trophy is on the line. Joey is back for 3 straight days. What's up, Joey?
Not too much. How you guys doing?
No, not good, Joey, and you know that. I don't like your nice attitude as you try to rain on our parade.
No time to lick the wounds over the weekend?
No.
No.
We've been training Marsh on every sport and random thing that we could think of.
So. Yeah, I camped out in the library just reading sports facts.
Yeah, we figured you would, Joey. You're a competitor. There's no doubt about it. All right. We already know that it's going to be Marsh today. You beat me. You beat Jamie. All that's left standing in your way is one Andrew Marsh. So go ahead. Tell him to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
All right, Marsh. Get the hell out of here. Joey, if you had to pick, what category do you want?
Marsh is pretty good at all sports. Did
you say random, Joey?
Yeah.
It's not random. Yeah. Is there? Let me ask you this: is there a category you don't want?
I prefer not football, I guess.
Well, it's not football. You got hockey today.
All right.
You got hockey.
Joey's confident in hockey. He mentioned that earlier on, that he was fine with hockey, just not against me.
Oh, that's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So now Marshy's an avid hockey watcher, a former hockey player, AAA level, mind you, here in St. Louis. The only team to win the Quebec Pee Wee tournament, which is a massive tournament. So Marshy's a formidable opponent when it comes to hockey.
And he's also going to become my CEO for the Clear camp, since he believes in it and you don't. Joey, are you ready?
Anthony, you guys can operate that independentely. I cheer you on.
Yeah.
What week are you running it?
Well, we got plenty of we don't know
one
yet.
at the same time.
You son of a. All right, Joey, question 1. Who is the only player on the Blues' current roster that also played on the L.A. Kings?
Man, hold on a second. I don't know. There'd be. I'll know when you tell me, I guess. Give me the options.
Sure. Options are Malcolm Subban, Braden Shen, Callie Rosen.
Malcolm Subban, Callie Rosen, and who else?
It is Subban, Shen, Rosen. Those are your choices.
I think Shen. I'll go Shen.
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Joey, question 2. The Buffalo Sabres currently have the longest playoff drought in NHL history, missing the playoffs for 12 consecutive seasons. Who has the second longest current streak, missing the playoffs the last 7 seasons?
I'll go Ottawa, final answer. Wait.
All right, Ottawa, final answer.
Yeah, I'll go Ottawa.
Okay. Question number 3. In their history, how many games have the Blues played in the Stanley Cup final? How many Stanley Cup final games have they played?
19. You got swept 3 times, and then 19. Final answer.
Okay.
All right. Last question here. Before Steve Ott played for the Blues, he played for the Buffalo Sabres for 2 seasons. And which other team for a career most 9 seasons?
Almost positive the Dallas Stars. That is the final answer.
All right. Steve Ott's youngster, Maverick Ott, attending the Synergy Hockey Camp this week.
Nice.
He's a chip off the old block.
I'm sure. What a badass name, Maverick.
He's got as much energy and enthusiasm as his father. We were laughing about that this morning.
I can believe that.
Oh, yeah. He's great. Great little player.
All right, Marsh is back from the Cone of Silence. Marsh, how was the Cone of Silence, man?
It was great. Just catching up with Mike Ryder.
And you're feeling good?
Feel great.
Did you guys listen to music? What'd you do in there? Did you talk about life?
We listened to a little bit of music. some story of the year. Went to the concert this past Friday.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Where was that one at?
It was at the St. Louis, was that Centene?
Oh, the music park.
The music park.
Okay.
Nice little venue there. I see it almost every day, Anthony.
I know you do.
The Old Dirty Rug.
The Old Dirty Rug.
Yeah,
That's
ODR.
right. Yeah, the ODR. Yep. Jamie had his roast of Jamie Rivers there.
That's right.
Ooh.
Sold out, standing room only.
Standing room only. It was a big crowd.
It was a pretty big crowd.
Yeah.
People just wanted me to take a beating.
And you did.
And I was fine
But
with
you
it.
were laughing the entire time. You enjoyed it.
Is that all you've got?
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
All right. Marsh, are you ready?
I am ready.
Jamie?
Well, pack a lunch, buddy.
Oh, jeez.
This is for a Gauntlet trophy. The category is hockey.
Okay.
It is hockey, Marsh. Question 1. Who's the only player on the Blues' current roster that also played for the LA Kings? Who's the only player on the Blues roster that also played on the LA Kings?
Oh, geez. Trying to sift through some of these players. Oh, jeez. Probably gonna have to use the options. I'm gonna take too much time. Let's go with the options.
Malcolm Subban, Braden Shen, Callie Rosen.
So Braden Shen was drafted by the LA Kings, but I don't know if he played a game for them. Malcolm Subban, he's not even on the team though. He's in Springfield. I don't think he played for them. Played for Vegas. Callie Rosen's the one that I think it might be. He also played for Toronto. Oh, did Braden Shen play for him? I'm going to say Braden Shen. I think it's Callie Rosen, but I'm going to say Braden Shen. Final answer. I don't know if he actually played for them, but I know he was drafted by them.
Okay, Braden Shen. Final answer.
Question 2. The Buffalo Sabres currently have the longest playoff drought in NHL history, missing the playoffs for 12 consecutive seasons. Who has the second longest current streak, missing the playoffs the last 7 seasons?
Last 7? That date back to 2016. I mean, the first team that comes to mind is the Detroit Red Wings. Every other team, Ottawa comes to mind, but they were in the playoffs. They were in the Eastern Conference Final when they played the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that was back around the same time, though. Oh, man. You said 7 years?
Correct.
I'm going to go with the Red Wings. Final answer.
Question number 3, Marsh. In their history, how many games have the Blues played in the Stanley Cup Final?
All right. 12 plus 7 would be 19. 19 games. They got swept the first 3 times they were in it. So, yeah, 19. Final answer.
All right, Andrew. Final question. Before Steve Ott played for the Blues, he played for the Buffalo Sabres for 2 seasons. And which other team for a career most 9 seasons?
The Dallas Stars. Final answer.
Okay. Joey versus Marsh. Gauntlet trophy on the line. The category today is hockey. Let's go over these. Who is the only player on the Blues' current roster that also played on the LA Kings? Joey, you said Braden Shen. Marsh, you twisted yourself into an absolute mental pretzel. You hated yourself for about 30 seconds there. You said Callie, I know it's Callie Rosen, but I'm going to go with Braden Shen because he was drafted there. Braden Shen, final answer was your answer. Correct answer is?
Well, Braden Shen drafted by the LA Kings.
Yeah, drafted is the key word there.
And played there. Brady
and he also played there. Both of you guys did need the options on that one, so it's a 1-1 tie.
How many games did he play, by the way?
I don't know.
We don't know, Marsh.
That's above my pay grade.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But can we go over these?
Yeah.
Come on.
Joey's fighting for a Gauntlet trophy.
I understand. I'm
Worried about
fighting to make sure he doesn't get one.
In their history, how many games have the Blues played in the Stanley Cup Final? Joey, you said 2. Marsh, you said 19. Marsh, you said 19. Correct answer is
19.
You both got 2 points, which is why I looked at the old deuce there, Jamie. The old deuce. Because neither of you used the options. Nice job. So we have a 3-3 tie. 2 questions left. Before Steve Ott played for the Blues, he played for the Buffalo Sabres for 2 seasons. And which other team for a career most 9 seasons? Marsh, you said the Dallas Stars. Joey, you said the Dallas Stars. Correct answer is
the Dallas Stars.
Neither of you needed the options.
Oh, no.
So, boys, we're tied 5-5.
And, sorry, go ahead.
The Buffalo Sabres currently have the longest playoff drought in NHL history, missing the playoffs for 12 consecutive seasons. Who has the second longest current streak, missing the playoffs the last 7 seasons? Neither of you, not that this matters, but neither of you used the options. Joey, you said the Ottawa Senators.
Oh, jeez.
Who are an option. Marsh, you said the Detroit Red Wings, who are an option. The other option is the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, wow.
This is how it's going to work out. If it's the Ottawa Senators, Joey wins. If it's the Detroit Red Wings, Marsh wins. If it's the Anaheim Ducks, well, we got to walk off. In the tightest Gauntlet finale in the history of Gauntlet 2.0. Jamie, which team has missed the playoffs the last 7 seasons?
The Detroit Red Wings.
Joey!
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
This was honestly one of the best gauntlets ever.
Oh, my goodness.
This is one of the best. Marsh had 7. He got 7 points.
7?
Joey, 5. That was the one that cost you. I'm sorry, man. That was a hell of a performance by you, though.
That was good.
Yeah, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, 2016. That's the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good job, Joey. Great job, man.
It was, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, guys. It was fun. I appreciate you having me on.
Great job. Appreciate you. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for listening, man. Thanks for playing.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Woo, Marsh.
Dude, I'm like sweating right now almost. That was a tough gauntlet.
Honestly, I wouldn't have gotten that one. Like with the options, maybe, but I still would have toggled between Ottawa and Detroit. You guys both swinging hard without the options.
Yeah.
I was impressed. The other ones, yes, but that one there would have got me. Would have made me pause big time.
Yeah, both of you guys. I mean, both of you went 19. And I understand that.
19, that one there would have made me pause too, because I was trying to think of like when they got swept, was it 4 out of 7 every year way back then?
Right.
And it was, obviously.
Yeah, so you guys both, I mean, he said he rattled off 19. Marshy rattled off 19. You guys both rattled off the Dallas Stars. He rattled off Ottawa pretty quickly.
He's not wrong. He was 1 year off.
Wow.
So that's where I was a little like confused, because when we think of Major League Baseball, it's just 1 year. It's easy. I'm thinking, okay, now we're going back because it's the 2016, 2017, or 2015, 2016. I didn't know which year it was in my head and trying to think of that so quickly. But I do remember Ottawa losing to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I think it was Game 7 and double overtime.
It was an overtime. I believe Chris Kunitz.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Well, and then Erik Karlsson, I believe, was traded to Anthony's Sharks, and that's why they haven't been back since.
I don't root for the Sharks.
Or have they?
No, they have not.
Yeah.
No, that was
But it's been 6 years.
They made the conference final and haven't made the playoffs since.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Steven Matz was placed on the IL, a 15-day IL with a lat strain. And one other breaking local story is that Mizzou has landed a 5-star defensive lineman, Williams. I'm going to hack this up, I'm sure. Noari, and he is committed to Mizzou. The number one player in the 2024 class chose the Tigers over Oklahoma, Georgia, and Tennessee. It's the highest-ranked player to commit to Mizzou in the modern ranking era. Wow. So, nice job there, Drink.
Wow.
Way to go.
The Drink.
So there you have a little local news for everybody.
A lot of different Cardinal stuff. John Mozeliak addressed the media for his first press conference in a while.
You want to get into it?
Oh, we should.
Let's get into it next on 101 ESPN. Hey, when it comes to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they have over 700 vehicles on their lot. One location. That's right, 700 vehicles. I've seen it. I've seen the lot. I've seen the new Nissans that they have. I see the certified pre-owned vehicles. It is on one lot. When they say one location, they mean one location. You're not driving around the greater St. Louis or Illinois area looking for your perfect vehicle, because they've got them at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They also have their 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you need to bring the vehicle back, no problem. But they're so confident that you're going to drive off the lot and in love with your brand new vehicle that you won't exercise the 30-day return promise, but they'll give it to you anyways, no problem. Free nationwide lifetime warranty on all new Nissans, and they have financing options for everyone, whether you've got good credit or not so good credit. If you need a vehicle, just drive out to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you, and they're going to hook you up with a vehicle, and they're going to have a way to finance that car as well. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, it doesn't matter. Auto Centers Nissan, they've got them. They've got all makes, all models, all colors. You're going to love it. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. John Mozeliak spoke with the media today, noting that Steven Matz is going to the IL with a lat strain, and it'll be Zach Thompson who's moving into the rotation. I don't mind this at all, Jamie. I think you wanted to see one of the young guys come up, but I think this one makes sense. Zach Thompson's been around a little while. He's been yo-yoed back and forth to Memphis. Give him a chance.
Yeah, no, I'm not upset with this. I think that there's still ways to get the young guys a chance to at least get a couple starts at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But moving Zach Thompson makes sense. Lefty. He's been really strong here of late. Why not? I think it's the easiest move to make.
Yeah.
You got a lot of other things to worry about.
So this is interesting, Jamie.
Which part? Go ahead.
Which part were you alluding to?
I don't know. Go ahead, Anthony. You drive the bus.
I'm watching you. Mo also told the media, now, take this however you want to, okay? You may hear it and say, liar. That's fine. That's up to you.
I knew you were going here.
We're going to give you the information. You can react to it however you want, because, Jamie, that's your feelings, not ours.
Yeah.
According to Derek Gould on Twitter, on the old tweet machine, or X. Stupid. Mozeliak tells the media that the Cardinals will be shopping for 3 starters this offseason.
He didn't say that.
That's not all free agents.
He said we need to add 3 starters.
Well, the way Derek tweeted it out was we will be shopping for 3 starters this offseason.
John Denton tweeted out that we need to add 3 starters.
Either way, that's not all free agents, but that is the number for the shopping list.
Yeah.
3 starters, which is really what they should do.
We've been saying that.
Yeah. We've been saying it.
They know it. I don't think there's anything that we've been saying that John Mozeliak and the Cardinals don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like they're pissed off.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the slap in the mouth that is like, you know what? Yeah. What the hell are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
We can't have this again. The DeWitts do not want to have another season where they're not competitive.
Yeah.
For a myriad of reasons. One, they are
money.
Yes.
Financial gain.
Yes, but they're baseball people.
Green.
They like to win too.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Say whatever you want about the DeWitts. They like to have a winning baseball team.
Yes, they do.
So
and money.
But who wouldn't?
Profit.
If you own a company, do you want to lose money every year?
Hell no, I want a profit.
That's right. You want a big-ass profit.
That's why I got the Clear Camp coming out in 2025.
Yeah. What's interesting, too, is that John Mozeliak said that we went into this season thinking that we would have that covered, just describing the pitching, and it didn't work out that way. And then talking about what we just said, knowing that they can't have a season like this anymore, he says having a repeat of that, what happened last season, like leaking into this year, would not be in the best interest of the franchise. So I think our approach is going to be very aggressive on the pitching side. We'll see where it takes us. I mean, I like the words.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I do.
It's all he could do right now, but he's going to prove it.
Well, yeah, but he can't do anything right now. He said at the deadline it's pitching, and that's pretty much what he went after. And he ended up with a couple of bonus high-end infielders, too.
Yeah.
But pitching.
Right.
So now he knows he's got to get 3 starters. Is one of those 3 starters McGreevy or Graceffo? Fine, if they earn it. And then go shopping and get your mid-tier guy and your top-tier guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy then.
Right. It's a show-me state, not the prove-it state.
You're absolutely right, Anthony. Although proving it from time to time is good, too.
Yeah. Don't just show it. Prove it.
Yeah, because showing it sometimes, depends on, who can see it.
True.
But when you prove
and whether or not they're receptive to it.
It's 100%. Some people most of the time are receptive to it. But,
Yeah.
Again, tomato.
Sure. Joseph from Wildwood won the Blues tickets today. So we got Blues tickets to give away each and every day in the fast lane. And our trivia question today was a Jamie Rivers-related trivia question. He used to play for the Phoenix Coyotes, and he wore a number in Phoenix.
I did.
What was the number? Correct answer is?
Well, when I left Detroit, Anthony, there was a defenseman that played in Detroit, and he jokingly said that he'd be honored if I went and wore his number in Phoenix. So I did. It was number 5. That player was Nick Lidstrom. The big Swede.
That's pretty funny.
It's true.
Did you like?
Oh, yeah, they texted me like a week later. He's like, oh, my God, you took number 5. I said, yeah, I almost took your number while I was in Detroit, but I let you have it.
That's nice of you, Jamie. Yeah.
He's one of the best guys ever.
He was a hell of a player. So
yeah, but a good guy, too. Like, some guys are great players and they're buttholes.
Yeah.
You know? He was
Surfers.
Unbelievable.
Joseph from Wildwood, congratulations. We've got tickets to give away, though, each and every day here in the Fast Lane. So make sure you're locked in, and you'll have an opportunity to win said tickets. We had teased this before. Then we had the Steven Matz news break. Let's get into this next. The Braves should be the model, and we'll talk about why they should be the model. It's pretty obvious.
Why would you pick the Braves?
Which playoff contending team besides the Braves can the Cardinals realistically emulate? The answer might surprise you. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Tough news for Steven Matz. He's been placed on the 15-day injured list with a left lat strain. This is all before the Cards take on the Oakland Athletics tonight. Miles Michaelis will be on the mound going up against J.P. Sears. First pitch is at 6:45. Once again, Steven Matz on the 15-day IL with a left lat strain. We talked about Steven Matz. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or use the 101 mobile app. You can find the full show there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Braves are the model.
What?
Yeah. The Braves are the model in Major League Baseball.
Did you tease that, or did you just like drop that out here? I forget what you teased.
I teased twice.
Yeah, you did, but apparently it wasn't worth me paying attention. What did you tease, Anthony? Did you tease what's the...
Could you?
Hang on, let me read this.
Besides the Braves.
Oh, you went besides the Braves.
Who are the model.
I thought you said something different.
Which playoff contending team can the Cardinals emulate? Because the Braves, for starters, the Braves are the model. Period. If you're aspiring to be any team right now in Major League Baseball, it would be the Braves.
Why? What would make you say that?
Because they're good. They're going to be good for a long time.
641 winning percentage plus 193 run differential.
That might do it for most teams. You know. Yeah, Jamie. They drafted well. They used the international market to their advantage.
Uh-huh.
They acquire stars when they have need. So Freddie Freeman, that whole situation winds up going south, and they go to he goes to the Dodgers. They pivot because they've got a good farm system.
Uh-huh.
They pivot. They get Matt Olson,
and he's like number one in 3 different offensive categories.
Is incredible.
It's nuts.
They need a catcher, so they've got that. That pool of prospects that they can use to acquire Sean Murphy, and they pay him. They use their money to pay their stars to keep them happy. The Braves are the model, not just from a draft and development standpoint, but again, from an international market, from the way they do trades. You can use your farm system to be a feeder system as well as to acquire proven talent. The Dodgers, I think the Dodgers are still a model too. But the Braves are, doing what the Dodgers did for so long.
Yeah.
But besides the Braves, though, what other contending team can the Cardinals kind of emulate, or who do you want them to emulate?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because there's a couple of teams that are very exciting, but I don't see the Cardinals even able to emulate the model. Like the Tampa Bay Rays, the Cardinals can't emulate that model.
Right. And they don't have to because they're not in the market of the Dodgers. You can still pay guys.
And I look at the Rangers and the Astros. That's just different altogether. The Astros could be one that you highlight and say, they drafted good. They've brought in some stars. They've paid some money. Mm-hmm. They've cheated, but they've also won without cheating.
Right.
So the Astros is a team that you could look at that. The Texas Rangers, to me, they just spend too much money. I can't see the Cardinals doing that. If you whittle through it again, I mean, the Brewers they do it completely different than most teams do. The Cubs are a team that you could look at and say, hey, that's not a bad model there. Quick bounce back for that team. Mm-hmm. They're right back in the hunt.
So they were aggressive in free agency.
They were. A team that I don't know qualifies, but is the Orioles, but
they were bad for a while.
They're bad for a while. They're really young.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who have you got?
What about Houston? The Astros aren't a team that...
Well, that's the one I said highlight that a little bit.
Yeah, and I thought you said Texas initially, but then...
No, I said Houston.
You said Houston,
Houston
then you
first,
went...
and I said Texas.
Gotcha.
Not the same.
Sorry, but I agree. I agree. I think it's the Astros.
Apology.
I think it's thank you. I think it's the Astros. The Astros aren't a team that always spends big in free agency. What was their big move this past offseason? They brought in Jose Abreu. And Abreu has bounced back a little bit, but he hasn't been a boon for them. Then they traded for Justin Verlander. They're a patient team that has a couple of big-time players in Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker and Bregman and Altuve. Altuve's been injured, but look, he's a star.
When he's healthy, he's a hell of a player.
He is.
I don't like him, but he's a hell of a player.
They have had holes in the past. The pitching staff is good, not great, but they have used the draft to fuel their team. And this is a team that, while they had their years of tanking, that they've been good for quite a while now. They haven't had the opportunity to tank in a while.
Well, yeah, you're right.
They're a patient team, strikes while the iron's hot. For example, the Justin Verlander trade. They will be aggressive at the deadline, knowing that they need certain things. They were aggressive at last year's deadline, filled needs. A team that drafts, has a foundation in place, core group of players. They're well managed by Dusty Baker. And when they recognize their needs at the deadline, they're not afraid to make those moves. So I think the Astros are a team that the Cardinals can kind of model, but obviously you have to execute. Every other team, I don't know if they can do what other teams do. They're not
so vastly different than most of the other teams.
Yes. So let's run through it very quickly. The Baltimore Orioles were bad for a while. The Cardinals aren't going to be bad for a while and then just...
They're really young.
Yeah, they're not...
For the most part.
They're young because they drafted high for a while. So that doesn't...
What?
That's
a risky way to do it.
No, Jamie, they drafted...
Although it seems to work out, so maybe everybody should do that.
Yeah, let me clarify. They usually have a higher pick. They didn't draft
they didn't draft
stoned.
high?
They didn't draft stoned out of their minds.
Well, I was going to say...
I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I was going to say, if that's what they did, then maybe the Cardinals should maybe look into it. I mean, they got some really good players.
So the Orioles, not realistic. The Rays aren't realistic at all. The Cardinals aren't going to have a low payroll and do it that way. They don't have the scouting that the Rays do. The Blue Jays are another team that weren't that great for a while, got a bunch of young guys, and now they're ultra aggressive. The Minnesota Twins kind of fall in the Rays category. Smaller market team or mid-market team that really is just based on drafting and developing, but the Cardinals can pay free agents more than the Rays. Or I'm sorry, than the Twins. The Rangers, I agree with you. The Rangers are spending big.
Yeah, a lot of big money there.
The Braves are the perfect model. We already talked about them. The Phillies are spending big. The Brewers, the Cardinals can spend more than the Brewers. The Dodgers are in a bigger market. The Cardinals are trying to be the Giants, but the Giants have no qualms about not playing certain guys. The Cardinals aren't going to do that because they have Goldschmidt and Arenado. The Giants don't give a crap if like a guy plays every other day. They are strictly matchup based. And I think the Cardinals are trying to be matchup based at times, but you can't be fully matchup based when you have Arenado, Contreras, and Goldschmidt. You just can't.
No.
So the Giants aren't that team. The only other team that I think is kind of interesting is the Mariners, because they're built really on young pitching. They've got Julio Rodriguez. They've got Teoscar Hernandez. They traded for Jared Kelenic when he's not punching or kicking. I don't know if he was he kicked. Did he kick the water cooler? Did he punch it? He kicked it. Okay.
It was a front kick.
It was a front kick.
Yeah, poorly executed too.
It certainly was. Broke his foot. So Jared Kelenic can be good when he's not kicking things, but really the Mariners are set up long term because of their young pitching. I would love to see the Cardinals get back to that, but it just depends on how well these trades that they executed at the trade deadline, how they pan out.
Yeah, there is a lot riding on the future for the Cardinals. Now, John Mozeliak, he has to fill in the gaps for the right now, too. And I'm steadfast on this, that I don't care if he goes and gets a 3-starter on a 1-year deal.
Right.
I don't care.
I agree.
You have to bridge the gap right now. And that way, maybe you don't maybe you spend a little more money, but you're not committed as long.
Sure.
So you don't end up with a situation where you have a starting pitcher that you're committed past.
I'm with you.
This guy comes up and he's throwing watermelons.
Yes.
Because we know it's going to be that type of guy. It's going to be the Jose Quintanas. It's going to be maybe not the John Lesters and the Jay Happs, because those guys are at the end of their careers. But it's going to be someone that falls in that cheaper category. And I'm okay with that, because we're looking to just add a guy for the mid to the bottom of your rotation, along with another young guy maybe that works his way in there. And then you want to add a big piece. I'm okay with that. But don't give him 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Give him a 1-year deal. And if you like him so much again, give him another 1-year deal.
Agreed. That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane.
2 years total, Anthony.
Thank you. Yeah. I was going to do the math later, but I'm glad I didn't have to.
No, you're fine. I'm here for you.
You're the man, Jamie.
Thank you.
I've always said that. Sports Six-Pack is next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. YouTube channel at 101 ESPN SCL. So you got a question, you can leave it in the chat section of that if you want to as well. Sports Six-Pack next.
Be in St. Louis is 101 ESPN.
If you are in the market for replacement windows, please take my advice and call my friends over at Window World. They are the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. And look, Window World, they rank number 1 in number of windows sold in the country. That's by Qualified Remodeler magazine. They also take tremendous pride on good customer service. That I can tell you. John Gillette, the owner, sat down, talked to me, and explained just how important the customers are and how much they care about making sure that they're satisfied. They also care about lots of things in the community, too. Always looking to give money back to certain charities. Autism, for one, they get in on that big time. Just had an amazing event at Ameristar Casino, but just a great bunch of people over there. And the window is fantastic. It's a double-strength glass that you just don't get in an ordinary replacement window. They, alongside the window, they give that a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor. And they are still offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So all that's left to do is pick up the phone, call them over there, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-993-1800, 314-993-1800, or look them up at windowworld.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Time for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
Gentlemen, from the 217, Riz Show has a theme night. When do we get a Fast Lane night? A bobblehead of Rivers high sticking the rest of the show.
Well, we've been wondering this for a while now. The favoritism towards the Rizzuto show is quite sickening.
That's gross.
I mean, what has that radio show ever done for the station, quite honestly? I mean, apart from everything. Yeah.
Apart from making them a truckload of money.
Yeah, and being super popular and successful.
Yeah.
Too bad they can't win the Pick'em Challenge.
And the Hell Run Derby.
Marsh is undefeated against the old Rizzuto show. Never lost. Nope.
We have talked about it several times, Anthony, about wanting to do a Fast Lane Live or some kind of a night like that, but they just don't care about us. So if you have any complaints, just email Mike Ryder and tell him about how you feel and how the Fast Lane should be included in more things.
In fairness to Ryder and the rest of management, I think you and I have talked about it. I don't know if we ever brought it to a management's attention.
I'm sure I did at some point. If not, then they should have asked.
Jamie, I agree. That's a good call on that. But yeah, we'd be, in all seriousness, don't email Ryder. He's got enough crap on his plate.
What? He's the guy who gets it done around here.
He does, but let's not give him more work.
This isn't work. This is an opportunity.
Well, they can't all be opportunities that fall on a Mike Ryder's plate.
No, but Mike will always, whatever opportunity is, he'll make it better. Mike's a guy that's got great ideas, great suggestions. When he sees all these emails coming in, he will react. I don't know how, in which way, but he will react.
I don't want to lose him, okay?
Oh, Anthony,
I'm just saying.
Lose him?
You know how busy he is.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing 5 people's jobs.
Yeah, he gets crabby every now and then.
No, he's fine.
No, you said it. You said it best, Anthony. You did.
He just gave you a mean look.
When Mike Ryder left the studio earlier, you said it best. You're like, wow.
He just left. He's leaving
left.
now. That's unbelievable.
He's leaving.
Anyways, all right.
He's on his way out the door, and now he's coming back.
Uh-oh.
He's back, probably to read the email.
He's got a lot of emails. He's got to answer now.
He's great. I was going to go home, but awesome.
Question number 2.
From the 618, Zeke to the Pats. Is this good enough to help Mac Jones?
Here's what Bill Belichick has done as better than most over the last 2 decades. And yes, he's had Tom Brady, and yes, there may have been some bending of the rules / cheating, but he always builds a team. It's not about collecting talent for him. It's about building a team. And Zeke makes that team better. I think he's the clear RB2 behind Ramondre Stevenson, who, for my money, is the best player on their offense, and it's not even close. Zeke, perfect to be the second running back, the complement to Stevenson.
Yeah, he's not what he once was.
No.
He doesn't have to be. He just has to be an option.
Yes.
And yes, he helps Mac Jones. Anytime you can offer any kind of an offensive piece that can, expand your offense or help out or whatever, yes, that helps. Absolutely. Sign him. They should sign him.
Well, they did. Yeah.
See?
They did.
That's how good I am.
Mm-hmm. Way to predict that.
Yeah. It's like $6 million all in if he has a really good year or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Good for him. Good for the local product. Good landing spot.
Question number 3.
From the 636, how much of a hit do you think the Cards winning culture has taken over the last 8 years?
Oh, I don't know. It's taken a big hit.
Well, geez, you got an appearance in the NLCS in those 8 years.
Been in the playoffs twice.
Yeah.
Almost I don't know about that.
Jamie and I have had a lot of fun at the Cardinals' expense this year, okay? They hurt you, so we hurt them. I mean, that's just kind of how we...
You think losing's fun?
No, but...
I get lit up over this topic all the time. The listeners
What's that?
hate me for this.
The bringing out, like, they have been.
They made the playoffs.
Successful.
Well, they haven't done it, but they made the damn playoffs. How does it feel this year?
Right.
Like, we not that we wish this upon Cardinal Nation, because we never did, because it's driving me crazy to watch them lose. But how does this feel?
I'd rather have this feeling than make the playoffs and get swept again.
No, you wouldn't. That's not true.
Really? Because I'm going about my summer. I don't really care.
What if they don't make any, like, fundamental changes, though?
Okay, well, that's the problem. They need to.
I agree, but
they need to make those changes. They weren't going to if they just kept making the playoffs and losing.
That's true.
In the wild card round.
You know what? I'm with Marsh. This team's been breadcrumbing us for a while now.
They
just
needed
giving
a
us
slap in the face.
Just little breadcrumbs. Like, here.
5 fingers to the face.
The NL Central champs are, here's a wild card appearance. Just little breadcrumbs. And then they're telling us, you should be grateful. I don't think so. Don't give us breadcrumbs and sell us on it's the full loaf. It's not. Don't gaslight us, Cardinals. We want championships.
Yes, we do.
Oh, my God.
Anthony, you should be a motivational speaker.
Thank you.
Oh, boy, would that be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I would be a good motivational speaker.
Anthony, seriously.
I know you're being sarcastic
I'm
now.
Yeah.
I think you should quit your job.
You already have the van down by the river.
Been eating a steady diet of government cheese
and bread.
It's been solid. I'm living my best life, and I can help you as well. I'm Anthony Stalter, motivational speaker. Hey, Dad, I can't see too good. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there?
Question number 4.
All right, from the 314, do you find it interesting the Braves have 4 players that are on pace for a 162? No plug and play for them.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Wait, nobody has to get off their feet?
No, barely not.
Wow.
Yeah, you just play.
Must be different down in Atlanta.
Lineup's the same.
No turf.
No turf, yeah. There's no turf here either, Jamie.
Yeah, but it looks like it.
It's still manicured perfectly.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, with the Braves, if you look at their lineups, outside of getting Sean Murphy some rest and putting Travis d'Arnaud in the lineup, the lineup is the same almost every single night. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, but if you have 9 players like they do, or 10 players like they do, you don't have to change much. And if everybody wants to go to the post every single day, you just keep writing them in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves are the model, period.
Question number 5.
Exclamation point.
Yeah.
From Amazon
Which has a
Grant.
period in it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Kinda.
It does.
Well, you know it
kind of.
It does. Anyways, from Amazon Grant. Taking a first-timer to a hockey game this upcoming season and wanted to know which matchup do you guys think would be the most exciting to go to?
Well, I think whenever the Predators are in town, that's going to be one. It's been for the last handful of years been a rivalry type game, but also Ryan O'Reilly coming back to St. Louis, play against the Blues. There'll be a lot of little storylines in there. So I think that would be a good one.
That's a good one. Absolutely.
I mean, you say the Blackhawks, but I mean, you could say the Blackhawks because Connor Bedard will be in town. So it's better than what they were this year.
What about the Minnesota Wild?
Based on what?
Patty Maroon.
Oh, the big rig? Yeah. But Patty Maroon played for Tampa. He's come back to town already like once. Like Ryan O'Reilly, this is fresh,
All right. Slow your
like he
face
did,
down. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like your choice, Jamie.
What's yours?
My choice is Nashville. I was throwing out another idea so that we could talk about it. You guys forgot that the Pride of Oakville now plays for Minnesota.
No, we never.
I was reminding you of that.
We would never forget that.
And that's it. That's the whole conversation in a nutshell.
What about the Oilers?
Yeah, that's good. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, those guys are all right.
No defense, high scoring. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the Blues beat them last year. Hard. Parayko plays really good against Connor McDavid. He even said that he's one of the hardest players to play against.
I know. He told Jamie that.
He did.
In the bowels of the Enterprise Center.
Right in the bowels.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 6.
Quite the fun fact. From the 314. Could the lack of Yadier Molina being on the field be the reason why Adam Wainwright is struggling?
No.
Nope. I think that unfortunately for Waino, this is just the end is here, and the end has come when he's in uniform. So it's just unfortunate.
Are there certain situations, certain things that maybe Yachty would be able to help with? Yeah, but the overall result, I don't think would change, unfortunately.
Right. I agree. All right, that's the Sports Six back here in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. What's trending? We got a lot of local news plus some big national news. What's trending is going to be outstanding, and it's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, our guy Stewie is on the line right now. And Stewie, we wanted to talk to you about these high interest rates. People are asking right now, should I even bother purchasing a house with the interest rates so high?
You know what? You'll be smarter to buy now and then refi later. We know that rates are going to go down 12, 24 months from now. Once that happens, Anthony, what do you think is going to happen to all the people that are waiting on the sideline?
Oh, they're going to rush back into play.
They're going to rush back into play. And people that are selling their home, you may see a higher tick in people selling, but not that much. So all of a sudden you have 4 times the amount of people buying and maybe 1 times or 2 times the amount of people selling. That's going to cause prices to skyrocket even more, and you're going to end up paying a lot more for a house than you would today. Smartest move, buy now, get pre-approved, buy the house now, pay a little bit higher in rate, and then when the rates go down, refinance with the bagel loan, no closing costs, and you're ahead of the game. You'll pay less. You'll end up with the house, but not being pulled from under you. Someone else is going to get it. This way you got it, and you'll be much happier overall.
Nothing but great advice from Stewie. All the time. Our listeners, you guys, you have to capitalize on everything Stewie's able to offer. If your current real estate agent is providing a lender for you, great, fine. Get a second opinion. Because you just heard Stewie, the way he's explaining how all of this is going to happen. You don't get that anywhere else. You don't get that customer service. And all you have to do is pick up the phone and call him on his personal cell phone number. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Anthony, if they miss that, what can they do?
They can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good one.
NMLS number 226715.
What's trending in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a half-price Cardinals ticket voucher.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I was going to bring up Steven Matz being on the 15-day IL, but we got a text. But we got a text from the 636. Mizzou just landed the number 3 recruit in the nation.
Yeah, it did.
Number 1 recruit in the state. Number 2 recruit in Mizzou history. This deserves more than a casual mention. I love your show and listen every day, but WTF. I wonder what that stands for. This is the biggest Mizzou news in years. Get behind the Tigers.
It's incredible, guys. It is absolutely incredible. We're talking about 5-star recruit, defensive lineman. So he comes in, he commits to Missouri. Do you know who he chose?
Missouri.
He chose Missouri. That's right. Do you know who he didn't choose?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is right. Georgia.
Every other school.
Tennessee, as well as every other school known to man.
Appalachian State.
Highest ranked player to commit to Mizzou in the modern era. It is incredible news. I love it. I love what Drink is doing. At some point, you gotta use these high recruits to win games and make it sustainable and build your program so that, you do more than just create this hype machine. But this is how you do it, boys. It is massive news. I love it. I love it for Mizzou. 8 or 9 wins this year. 8 wins this year for Mizzou.
So why would he pick Mizzou?
Because he sees what this...
No, for real.
He sees what Mizzou is building. He sees that Luther Burden is there. Probably got an endorsement for...
But he would have got that anywhere.
He would have got that anywhere. Yeah. So he sees what Mizzou is doing. He likes their uniforms. Probably likes their facilities.
Being serious, Anthony.
I don't know why the kid chose Mizzou.
Well, I'm trying to have a real conversation here. I don't understand how...
I don't know why you would... Honestly, do you want my honest opinion?
That's why I asked.
Why would you choose Mizzou over Georgia? Maybe he sees a clear path to playing right away.
Okay.
It's either a bag full of money, which he would have got that anywhere, to your point, or playing time. They guaranteed him playing time over Georgia, Tennessee, or Oklahoma.
Well, they need defensive help, too.
They need everything.
Yeah, but a lot of defensive help.
So that would be my guess.
Okay.
Without knowing why the kid chose Mizzou and hearing him speak, that would be my guess. Hey, you could go to Georgia and sit behind 3 players for 2.5 years, or you come here and you play right away.
Well, that was just my question. And look, obviously, I love Mizzou, and I want them to be successful. I hope Coach Drink has a phenomenal season. But when you look at the top 25 teams in the rankings, Mizzou's not in here. And this is the, number 2 prospect or ranked?
This is the number 1 player in the 2024 class.
Okay. He could have picked any one of those schools in the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
He picked Mizzou. It's odd to me. That's all. I'm just wondering why. But the playing time makes sense.
Okay, so you step into either you as a 18-year-old or remember your kids, okay? What do 18-year-olds want at that point?
Well, they want to play.
If this kid has aspirations.
Yeah, nobody wants to go sit for a year in practice.
There you go.
I get it.
I'm assuming that's what that is.
But I find it hard to believe, Anthony, that one of the teams in the top 25 wouldn't have had him starting.
I mean, maybe not. I'm sure there's multiple teams in the top 25 that could have had him starting. He narrowed down the list, apparently. Mizzou, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Tennessee, and decided to go here.
All right. We're good. I'm glad we got him.
Me too.
That is the
I'm just trying to get fired up.
Hopefully we can keep him.
I'm just trying to get fired up for this Mizzou team.
I just worry that he's going to come for a year, get his playing time, then transfer.
Well, win.
What?
Win.
No, but I worry that he's going to come and play as a starter full season, and then he'll get the reps, and then he'll just enter the transfer portal and then go to Georgia anyways. That's my worry, Anthony.
Why do you got to do that?
Because
on
that
Mizzou
seems
Tiger
like
you
Day.
put that into the atmosphere, and now it's just lingering in the atmosphere, at least for another year.
It is. It's great. It is. It's big. It's massive.
We still don't have a quarterback.
You have to recruit. You have to bring in stud talent, and Drink has done that over the last couple of years. I don't think it's unfair, though, to also ask for Mizzou to win for us to talk about them just a shade more.
And that's
am I being unfair?
No.
And you may say, hey, well, the Cardinals aren't winning right now. You talk about them all the time. Because we could talk about the Cardinals, 26 man on the roster, and probably still get ratings because you tell us that. You tell us that by your listening habits. So if you're a Mizzou fan and you're upset right now, first of all, I hear your frustration. I understand that. We're here for you. We care about you. Mizzou's got to do a little bit more from a winning standpoint, generate a little bit more excitement. Besides, landing these recruits, which is a huge deal. But if you start winning on a football field, I'll talk about you every damn show. I love football.
We hear this a lot, too. It seems like every year, well, we got a lot of Mizzou hype coming in, and then they win like 6 games.
Right. And then the cycle
we do it again.
The cycle repeats. And then we get yelled at again.
By the guy with the bird hat.
Got in Jamie's face. Got in Jamie's face that day at Ballpark Village, how we need to talk more Mizzou.
He said, why don't you guys talk more Mizzou? And you thought he was joking.
I did.
We really did.
Yeah.
He was being dead serious.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to get knocked out. And I was kind of there for it. Well,
I thought he was joking, too, for the longest time.
I would have bailed Jamie out. I would have said that he got attacked first. It's clear.
The bird attacked me.
Yeah. I would have gone to the courthouse, and I would have said, hey, that bird-loving fool got in Jamie's face. That bird was pecking Jamie's eye out. He had he had no choice but to knock that out.
It just so happened to be on his head.
Yeah. When Jamie swung, he not only got the bird, but he got that guy's forehead.
Collateral damage.
Did he
have to see it?
Did he have to throw the other haymaker, the second haymaker? It's up to you to decide, Court. But I'm here to tell you that Jamie got attacked.
We'll look at some of the previous cases and we'll see if it checks out. I did mention Steven Matz, 15-day IL. Unfortunate for him because he was doing pretty good these past couple of weeks. Looking like an ace out there for your 2024 St. Louis Cardinals, but unfortunately, he's heading back to the IL.
The short term here, not a huge deal because I'm interested to see what Zach Thompson can do. You're losing anyways, so the young guy's getting some innings, I think is great. Here's the problem, though. You got a 2-year injury history here with Matz. Last year, out for most of the year. This year, injuries, poor performance, and then he gets this nice stretch, this great stretch. He's hurt again. So I'm getting a little concerned, Jamie, because I don't know if you've seen this. The Cardinals starting pitching a little thin.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree, but the rotation is thin for next year.
I got one more thing here that we haven't talked about that I'm curious to dive into this. James Harden held himself a little bit of a press conference today and said that Daryl Morey is a liar and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of, which is part of the 76ers organization. And he accepted his player option at like $35.5 million. And yeah, so
now what?
I don't know. Who's Daryl Morey? Is he the GM or something?
Yeah.
Well, all right. All is great in Philly.
So it seems like you've got a bit of a dilemma here, Jamie.
Quite a dilemma.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
We haven't mentioned Wander Franco. So Wander Franco.
Yeah, speaking of people needing to get knocked out.
Well, maybe. We don't know.
Well,
yeah. So Wander Franco was put on the restricted list by the Rays. He did not make the trip. They left last night. They're playing the Giants tonight. He didn't make the trip. That was reported by ESPN's Jeff Passan. Major League Baseball is investigating social media content by Wander Franco, in which Wander Franco, and Jamie, I think you can clarify a little bit, but he was defending himself over allegations that he has had relations with a 14-year-old minor. So that he's being accused of being in a relationship. Whatever that relationship is, that's not clear, but being in a relationship with a 14-year-old. He's 22. He denies it. Major League Baseball is looking into it. And for now, the Rays will be without Wander Franco for the foreseeable future.
So ironically enough, Wander Franco had a giveaway yesterday.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't even in the lineup.
It was a snapback hat for kids 14 and under. Like, that's such a bad look.
But this was part of
the game plan, the strategy.
Part of their speculation that the girl and her mother had asked for $200,000 of, they called it hush money, and when they didn't get it, they purposely, this is what they're reporting, not me, that they did it on purpose to release the information. I don't know it to be true, but if you go on the interwebs, you can see a lot of different people alluding to that.
Well, hopefully they're not true. The allegations aren't true. If they are, as you put it earlier, Jamie, Wander Franco's going to work through a lot of issues here.
Yep.
And the only other news, I think nationally, that came out today, pretty interesting. Retired NFL star Michael Orr, who was in, of course, the movie, his life, or what we thought was his life, was portrayed in the movie The Blind Side. Well, his supposed adoption out of poverty by a wealthy family, the Tuohys, apparently he was never adopted. Instead, what the Tuohys did was they kind of worked through a loophole in which they became the conservators of Michael Orr. They didn't adopt them. So what that allowed them to do is control all of his finances. And he hasn't, according to him, he hasn't made a dime off his likeness from the movie The Blind Side or otherwise. And the Tuohys have a bunch of different things going on, like foundations that they have started. She apparently is a motivational speaker and all. He hasn't made a dime off any likeness. And he said in his 2011 best-selling memoir, I Beat the Odds, he had noted that they weren't adoptive parents, because technically they weren't. So because they didn't adopt him, and it seems very strategic, because they didn't adopt him, they went this other route.
Yeah. They
could control his finances. Otherwise, they would have no control over it, because he would be an adoptive member of their family, and therefore he'd be in control of his own finances. Yeah. It's a messed up story.
Not cool.
But as I mentioned before, I remember specifically when that movie came out, Michael Orr wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't want to talk about it. He had several opportunities, and I think some people kind of thought, well, maybe he didn't like the way he was portrayed, or he doesn't, he wants to keep it private. Now we kind of understand why.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks for him, and hopefully if that's exactly what this family did, that, he can, at the very least, stop them from using his likeness of all. I mean, if anything, at worst.
Yeah.
At best, maybe recoup some of this money that he hasn't seen. All right, it's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. We got NFL Quick Hitter, our first look at some of these quarterbacks. And if you really loved Justin Fields before, you're going to love his statistics from that first preseason game.
That's a big game.
Huge. It's next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by my good friend Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, how we doing today?
We are awesome. How's it going?
Good, good. Hey, listen, I heard that you were witness to a hit and run today, and I was thinking to myself, how would that work with my insurance if I didn't have another vehicle to report and I just got hit and run?
It's not the smartest idea to do this kind of stuff across the street from an insurance agency because, we watch for that kind of stuff. So, literally saw somebody back into someone else and then just drive away. And the way your insurance works for that is if you have collision coverage on that vehicle, then you will have coverage for that. We will try and find who did it. Of course, I took pictures of the person, so hopefully they can find them. But if you don't have collision coverage, you may be on the hook yourself to fix your vehicle for that hit and run if they can never find that person. So really important to have a good agent that can help walk you through those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency are there for you in every capacity. They're not a 1-800 number. You get that personal customer service that you deserve. And all you have to do to get a free non-committal quote is give Tracy a call. That number is 314-328-4260. Again, 314-328-4260. Tracy, good luck catching that car, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Go Blues.
Well, over the weekend, we had the NFL preseason first week. And, guys, I think you could tell a lot by the NFL preseason. Really, the whole season, I think you can figure everything else out based on this one weekend. What do you guys think?
Preseason? That's serious stuff.
I'm going to take your silence as
I think
a way that you agree on.
I think
what
the Jacksonville backup quarterback, maybe third-string quarterback, should start over, Trevor Lawrence, just based on that throw that he made.
Not a bad thought.
So I'm thinking, goodbye, Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. That other dude, he's taking your spot.
You should probably trade Trevor Lawrence, see what you get for him.
Yeah.
I imagine you're going to get a haul. So, yeah. Marsh, you kind of got the idea of our segment here, the theme of our segment. So, quick hitters. Justin Fields completed all 3 pass attempts for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns in his preseason debut. Bears starters only played 2 series against the Titans. Could you see yourself buying into the Justin Fields hype and the Bears hype?
Yeah. I mean,
you were there.
I feel like I was already there, and it's not that I knew anything more than the person next to me. It's just that when the odds makers start rolling out certain things for certain players, they seem to always kind of have an idea of how things are going to work. Now, it's not exact science, but it's usually not all that wrong. So, yeah, I'm there.
I could be wrong. I thought I saw this on Twitter, but didn't Justin Fields have -9 air yards?
Yeah, he threw a screen.
He didn't throw a ball downfield at all. So I look at these numbers and that doesn't mean anything. Just because you can toss it to the guy and he can run 75 yards doesn't mean you can throw the ball downfield. So no, I'm not buying into this.
He threw a screen pass to DJ Moore, who it wasn't a good pass to begin with. It's not like he read the defense. He threw a screen that DJ Moore took 62 yards to the house. And then he threw one of the flats to, I think it was Khalil Herbert, who went 56 yards. So he threw one screen pass and one route to the flats, and it wound up being two big plays. Now, good for them. DJ Moore, maybe I've undersold DJ Moore because I keep saying, well, he's not a prototypical number one. But he's exciting. That's for sure. Maybe this Bears offense going to be a little more exciting, but
just the preseason.
Justin Fields is going to be able to read defenses at some point. Like, we can't just talk about the result of the throw. That's kind of my thing when it comes to Fields or any quarterback for that matter. Pick your favorite quarterback. Are we talking about somebody who is diagnosing a defense, who is getting his offense in and out of bad situations, goes to the line, recognizes that the corner might be lined up inside, and that route that his wide receiver's number one option, is covered right out of the gates, options out of it, audibles out of it. These are all things that you have to prove over the course of time. These are all things that Mahomes does, and Herbert does, and Joe Burrow does. So I stand by what I said about the Fields hype train. I think we're setting this kid up for failure.
It's all preseason hype. I mean, if we learned anything in this city is that you could be the best preseason team and be terrible in the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Cards were the Grapefruit League champions, Anthony.
It still counts, though.
And look where they're at now.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
They should hang that banner. Trey Lance sacked 4 times in the 49ers preseason loss to the Raiders. I think he's going to be, and you guys can call me crazy on this, but I have been steadfast that Brock Purdy's going to be their starter. As soon as he was cleared to play, everybody kept saying, who's going to be the starting QB? It's going to be Brock Purdy. I don't know if Trey Lance winds up being their backup.
Who's the other guy there?
Sam Darnold, Lego head.
Oh, wow.
That was Minecraft.
Minecraft head.
I guess it's both.
Trey Lance is not a fit for Kyle Shanahan's offense. He's just not. It's about rhythm. It's about timing. Trey Lance, his feet and his arm, completely out of whack. You can't take 4 sacks in a preseason game. And this is something, again, he hadn't played a lot of football over the last couple of years. This is a disaster for Trey Lance when it comes to his 49ers. And I realize he hasn't played a lot, but...
Yeah, but when you play, you got to do something.
And think about the game last year when they decided to call Garoppolo, like, hey, listen, we're going to keep you. Because remember, that was the whole thing. Garoppolo's going to be done and all that. And they took one look at Lance and the performance against the Houston Texans and said, we got to apologize to Jimmy G and get him back in. Kyle Shanahan's not stupid.
I think they're kind of stupid for taking a guy that only played 19 games in college at the FCS level.
That was a John Lynch call. And John Lynch has built a hell of a roster. But if you remember the reports, who was Kyle Shanahan in love with? They've made that move with the Dolphins to go from 14 or whatever it was to 3. Which quarterback was Kyle Shanahan in love with? Everybody had the reports. It was Mac Jones. I'll help you out. It was Mac Jones. And everybody's like, no, you can't take Mac Jones there. But Kyle Shanahan wanted Jones. And Lynch kept talking him into Trey Lance because of the arm, because of the athleticism. This guy can, they just watched, I think, Matthew Stafford come in and elevate McVay's offense. They're like, we need a quarterback that's going to elevate our offense. Mac Jones is just kind of, bare bones. And they took Trey Lance. And now, a couple of years later, it doesn't look like this guy's going to be their backup.
No.
They're going to have to trade him for pennies on the dollar because they can't release him as a $10 million cap hit. It's bad. Moving on. Shaky Bakey. Not so shaky in his preseason debut, guys, for the Bucs. 8 of 9 passing, Jamie. 63 yards and a TD. He outperformed Kyle Trask, who he's competing with right now. Trask, 6 of 10 for 99 yards and a pick. Any chance the Shaky Bakey resurrects his career in Tampa?
Define resurrects.
It's a clear no. I don't even think I have to define it. It's just a no. It's just a no for me.
He's got a lot of options, though. Their offense still has a lot of options.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Yeah. It's not terrible for him.
He can't see. That's just the unfortunate reality. He can't see. He couldn't see at Oklahoma. He made it work, but he can't see over his line.
Is he wearing glasses now?
Yeah.
No, he's short.
Oh, he's too short.
Excellent contact lenses now.
Remember when Jameis Winston got LASIK?
Yeah. He went from 30 to 30 to 20 to 20. 2020. Maybe he just needs Rodrigo Blankenship glasses.
Maybe.
Now that would be great.
I thought he was going to be something, too. He got bounced out of league 2 years in.
Old Blanky?
Oh, he was great in Indianapolis.
College. Yeah, well, he's great at Georgia.
Well,
and
yeah.
then the first year, Indianapolis.
Yeah,
I think he got cut in year 2.
He did.
Yeah. That's what happens, though.
It's a big mistake. Look what happened to them.
Sure, they went downhill, Jamie. You're right.
Just saying.
That was it. That was the start of it. All right, we got Beat the Streak and biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN. Hey, when it comes to the Missouri Athletic Club, I love getting my workout in at the West Clubhouse. I love meeting new people and have an opportunity to network because they got all kinds of networking events going on all the time. But I also enjoy getting the family involved, whether it's the West Clubhouse and the pool, or they have fun speaker series going on all the time that we like to go to in the downtown spot, historic downtown building for the Missouri Athletic Club. It really is a club within a club. They've got all kinds of things, and we're going to get the kids enrolled in various clubs, sporting events, things like that, things that I don't know what I'm doing necessarily, things like tennis, and we love it. And we love that the Missouri Athletic Club has provided that for our family. It's the MAC. It's my MAC, Missouri Athletic Club.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Stephen Matz to the 15-day IL that was announced a few hours ago. The Cards will take on the Oakland Athletics starting tonight as Miles Michaelis takes the mound going up against J.P. Sears. First pitch is at 6:45. I mentioned Stephen Matz to the IL. We had a conversation about the Cards pitcher. If you missed that conversation or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Once again, Cardinals and Athletics, 6:45 from Busch. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Beat the Streak. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter, and our guy John is back after starting a streak on Friday. What's up, John?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, my man. All right, Marsh, what's our latest streaks here?
All right, I am up to 5.
Nice job, Marsh.
So I'm leading the way with 5. Anthony, you are at 1. John is at 1. Of course, he had Bobby Witt Jr. You had Salvador Perez. I had MJ Melendez. And Jamie went with Paul Goldschmidt, who has continued to let him down.
Yep.
He did not get a base hit on Friday. So it'll go me, then John, then Anthony, and then Jamie.
Okay. Well, Marsh, lead us off here, man.
All right, so I'm having success with picking players from the other team. Today, though, man, it was a real struggle because it's the Oakland Athletics, and I haven't heard of basically anybody on their team.
Brent Rooker?
I said basically. There's a few guys.
Geloff? I don't even know if I'm saying
Zach
his name.
Geloff. And that's the guy that I'm going with
He's been
today.
a stud.
He's been doing really well lately at the plate, so I'm going to pick him.
Okay. Geloff, it is. John, who would you like?
I'm going Tommy Edman.
No, good pick.
What am
I? You are a great human being. One of the best that I've ever met, quite frankly. And you and I were thinking alike because I also wanted Tommy Edman. So now I got to pivot here. I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. Wilson Contreras is my pick. Jamie, who would you like?
Well, I did want Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Man, I'm going to go off the grid a little bit here. I'm going to go Luken Baker.
Oh, okay.
Rube.
Rube Baker. Yeah. I like it. All right, so Marsh has got Geloff. John took Tommy Edman. I have Wilson Contreras, and Jamie went with Rube Baker, otherwise known as Luken Baker. John, good luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
All right, see you then.
See you. Time for the biggest question of the day now.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, guys, Adam Wainwright. We brought him up earlier today. Of course, he did not have a stellar performance on Friday in Kansas City.
What do you mean, Marsh?
Well, Anthony...
Like, define that.
Well, he went 1 inning.
Was he the opener?
Yeah.
Turned out to be.
Yeah.
That's not nice. That's...
You said it, but we were all thinking it. Adam Wainwright still at 199. Of course, this whole season was about getting to 200.
198.
He's trying to get to 199.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I just gave him an extra win.
I wish you could.
Mr. 3,000.
Marsh, I wish you could, man.
So he's searching for 199 and 200, sitting at 198. There's been questions of whether or not Adam Wainwright can get to the Hall of Fame, and in our opinion, at least needed those 200 wins to be in the conversation. Does this sort of run this season just take away from all of that, even if he does end up getting 200, just based on how it went?
I think he was a long shot. Maybe not a long shot. I don't think he was a Hall of Famer with the 200 wins.
A lot of people that were talking about it, though, Anthony.
Yeah, they were. They certainly were, Jamie. Longevity, yes. World Series, closed out a World Series. Yeah. He was on the roster for 11, unfortunately for him. He was hurt that year when the Cardinals won it, but, nonetheless, World Series champion. Absolute legend here in St. Louis. He's going to get himself a red jacket quickly, be a Cardinals Hall of Famer, but I don't think he was ever a MLB Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and I don't know if this one last season would do that, but it certainly makes things more difficult for Adam Wainwright. Will he get to 200, I think, is the biggest question.
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger question than will he get to the Hall of Fame. He's got work to do.
You're right. It is.
I mean, it's not a bigger question, but it's the most recent question.
Yeah. I mean, it's been ugly.
I guess what I'm trying to say is you use the 200 as the number, right? Oh, that's qualifying for the Hall of Fame. You got to get there.
Right.
You got to get there. And right now he's having a hard time getting to the 5 innings.
Honestly, Jamie, I thought midway through the season, I figured he's going to get to 200. He's going to face some of these weaker teams, and he's going to get through 5. He's going to get a bunch of run support. It's not going to look pretty, but there are going to be games where he's going to kind of keep everybody off balance, be below hitting speed, kind of be work his magic for 5 innings. Again, get a lot of run support and win 2 more games. I thought that was going to be the case. What we have seen. I mean, he gave up 8 runs against the Royals in the first inning. The previous start was a disaster too. Is that when he faced the Diamondbacks, who had been struggling offensively? This has just been
the Rockies.
Oh, the Rockies. You're right. And it was here.
Yes.
Not at Coors. It has been disastrous. I don't know if he can get through 2 innings, let alone 5, with the way he has looked. There's no spin, no velocity, no nothing. I mean, he is kind of throwing batting practice at this point, and I feel for him. And I feel for the fans.
When it's 84 in the middle of the zone and it's not going anywhere,
right.
The league's too good.
The fans are dying to show their, and not that they haven't been, but dying to show their appreciation for Adam Wainwright and what he has meant. I mean, he's been battling. This starting rotation has not been great for years now, and this has been the guy. He has reemerged as the rock in this rotation in previous years. But the last 7 starts last year were not good. The spring training performances were not good. The WBC was kind of a, grit and, bear through what you can. But it has been ugly this year. And I feel for him.
I'm still holding out that he can actually get to 200. And, the game that I went to a few weeks ago that we were making fun of, I was hoping that he was pitching. I think he was supposed to pitch that day, and then they had Liberatore pitch instead.
For which day? I'm sorry.
It was the game against the Twins.
Okay.
When Liberatore ended up pitching. I think Wainwright was scheduled to go the day that I went to the game, and I was actually excited to see him pitch.
Sure.
Just because it's Adam Wainwright, I didn't care how he looked the rest of the year, or how he's looked earlier in the season, because I still wanted to pitch, or I still wanted to watch him pitch. He's one of my favorite pitchers growing up, and help this organization and whatnot. So I think I'm still holding out that he can find a way to win one of these games, because I do somewhat believe in him that he can just pull it out of his hat and have a performance like he did against the Mets earlier this year.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I would still leave him in the rotation. There's nothing to lose. You're losing games as it is.
I don't think he gets the win there.
I know your viewpoint on it. You're strategizing it. You think he comes in out of the bullpen, picks himself up a win. It's not a bad thought, Jamie. You might be right when it's all said and done. But if he wants to keep starting, then I think you kind of owe it to him.
Yeah. Cardinals news here. Derek Gould reporting that Nolan Gorman scratched from the lineup with lower back tightness. Taylor Motter will take his spot in the field and bat ninth.
Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
What a disastrous season. I mean, what a disastrous season this has been.
So many things. Man.
Do we need to rip on Nolan Gorman the way that we do Tyler O'Neill for not being in the lineup for lower back tightness?
Marsh, you watch your mouth.
It's just a question. I'm not saying
watch
we need
your
to.
mouth.
It's just a question.
From an injury standpoint, did you put our guy, Jamie's guy specifically, Nolan Gorman, in the Tyler O'Neill injury category?
I mean, I just simply posed a question.
Yeah, you're wrong.
What if the text line asked that question? Would you berate them the way you're berating me right now?
Of course,
Yeah.
you know that.
All right.
You
At
know
least
we
you're
would.
consistent.
Probably, yeah.
Jamie, number one rule in the fast lane.
Nobody's safe.
That's correct, Marsh, including us.
It's actually rule number 2.
It's rule number 2.
Rule number 1 is that
No eye
Marshy
contact.
doesn't make eye contact with
Yeah.
anybody.
Oh, it's just me? I thought you were part of that too.
Yeah, no, I won't listen to that crap. Are you kidding me?
Well, why do I have to listen to it?
Well, just because you should.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
Feeds my ego.
See what happened to the last guy?
Yeah.
He looked him in the eye. He's
Not in radio anymore.
Yeah.
Now he decided to get out, but nonetheless, you see what happened to BT?
Yeah.
Now he decided to leave, but
What the hell's going on?
still
here?
there's a track record here. Okay.
Jeez, I mean, you made Mike Ryder leave earlier too.
That was Jamie. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What you missed? Criticisms, compliments next.
Fellas, listen up. Low energy and low motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, feeling anxious, moody, impatient, anxiety. Yeah, these are all things that could be attributed to low testosterone. And, nobody likes to hear that, but who cares? Men of all ages suffer from low testosterone. And I'll tell you what, the best thing that I did personally is get over to Mentality and talk to their board-certified representatives and answer the questions and tell them how I'm feeling. Then they did a full blood panel, and guess what? Low testosterone as well as deficient in some other vitamins. I'm on my own custom program every week with Mentality, and I feel fantastic.
Jamie brought me into Mentality a while back, and I thought to myself, okay, well, man, we'll see. But you were feeling good. You were talking about it. You were talking about how your workouts improved, how your focus throughout the day improved, how you had more energy, you had everything going on. I'm like, okay, well, why wouldn't I look into it as well? And when I went in there, same deal. Low testosterone, deficient in other vitamins. But they talked to me about my specific needs. And I love the way that they make it feel like you call it a clubhouse. It is, whether it's the West Clubhouse, the West spot there out in Chesterfield or in South County where I'm at. They do a great job. And you start to feel, a couple of months in, you start to feel great. You start to work out. Your workouts are better. Your focus is better. Your concentration. You just feel good. So why wouldn't you get down there too?
Yeah, it's a big family. Everybody is in there trying to make everybody feel the best that they possibly can. And all you have to do is jump in there, tell them that Anthony and Jamie sent you. If not, visit them online. It's super easy. Go to lowtusa.com. Again, that's mentality at lowtusa.com.
Miss anything from today's show, you can download the podcast at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Talked about Adam Wainwright a couple of times today. What do you do? Do you leave him in the rotation? Do you let it ride out? You know, what can you do? Can he get to 200 wins? Jamie threw out an interesting idea about how you could get to 200 wins if you maybe move Adam Wainwright to the bullpen, so you want to check that out on the podcast. We talked about the Wander Franco situation, the Michael Orr controversy. Are we seeing a star in the making when it comes to Lars Nootbaar? Had kind of an interesting debate. The text line threw out a good comment related to that kind of took us in a different direction. Played NFL first look at some of the quarterbacks from the preseason. Also did some college football top 25 reaction. Talked about the big news regarding Mizzou, the bad local news with Steven Matz going to the IL, and will free agency look different next year involving the Blues? Jamie poured some cold water on Andrew Marsh's idea. Marsh was excited heading into the segment, and heading out of the segment, Marsh was basically depressed. So, all fun today in the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Oh, speaking of Marsh, an epic Gauntlet finale with Joey. You're going to want to listen back and play along, but it was one of the best gauntlets that I think we've ever had. And it was for a Gauntlet trophy for Joey. So, all good stuff there. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, from the 636, this is about the Depend male diapers that I gifted you earlier in the show.
Thanks,
because
Marsh.
We established last week that sometimes when you're driving down 270, you feel like you just have to go.
Yep.
And we don't want you to do that, especially don't want you to do it in your pants.
Yeah.
So we got you some diapers. But from the 636, Depends are for amateurs. Empty Gatorade bottle is what the pros use.
Yeah, I wasn't opposed to using an empty Gatorade bottle, but when you're stuck in traffic and you've got everybody around you who can see in, I don't know what the laws are.
What if you didn't have an empty Gatorade bottle, too?
It's a good call, too. Yeah. I did not have one. Yeah, but I'm assuming the texter's saying always have one on hand. It wasn't like I was driving along. This was stuck in a traffic in broad daylight. I don't want to be on one of those lists, Jamie, just for having to go to the bathroom.
I don't know if the rule applies like if you're in the confines of your own vehicle.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I don't know. I'm not pretending to know.
You think there's not some pervs out there who just decided, I'll just sit in my own vehicle and do this?
Well, yeah, you're right about that. I'm sure there are. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of rules. I'm just saying, nah. I think Marsh gave me a gift.
Yeah.
The gift that will keep on giving.
Keep on going.
Depends on how much you got to go.
We got a text from the 314. We were talking earlier about which teams the Cardinals could sort of emulate, which playoff contending teams, and the Orioles came up, and Anthony, you said, well, they draft high. They draft too high.
Right.
And Jamie thought you were talking about something else.
Yep.
From the 314, I draft my MLB The Show team stoned, and I always win.
Well, yeah.
Now, is that your comment, Marshy?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Did you? Yeah, did you text that in? That's a good question, Jamie.
Because you are an MLB The Show guy. And,
you love MLB The Show.
I don't know about
Actually, it's
anything
crazy that there are other people around this city, actually, that also play that video game.
Really?
It's a crazy concept.
I thought it was just you.
Some may think, yeah.
You're extremely passionate about it, though.
No, I like it. I play it almost every night.
Yeah.
You got to grind.
job.
You got to grind.
Yeah.
For all the cards.
It's a marathon.
It really is.
Who's your team?
My own team.
So the Andrew Marshes?
It's like imagine
Dragons.
No, are you talking about with the well, my team was the Sunny D. That was my team last year. But the players they're all like a mixed bag of players. It's whatever card you grab.
No, I mean, what's your team name?
Oh, it's you want to get it.
You just can't say it on the air.
It's an inside joke.
That's fine. I'll respect you, Marsh.
He's embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, but if it is an inside joke, then he's got to explain it, and we're like, well,
we have about 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So.
All right. Marsh, we're going to let you off the hook.
He's embarrassed.
I appreciate it. From the 618, we were talking about Mizzou earlier today, and Jamie just was wondering why. Why would anyone want to go to Mizzou? On the 618, Jamie crop dusting drinks dream.
It wasn't that. You don't see, obviously this is why it's historical for Mizzou to get such a high recruit, but you sit there and you go, okay, well, why? Like, what is Drake selling this kid?
Right.
So, anyways, it was just a question because I was wondering. That's all.
And, of course, we did get a question about us having a fast lane night, which then prompted the 636 to text in, I think there should be a fast lane night. Ideally, the home game against the San Jose Sharks, so all members would enjoy the game.
Oh, such a great idea. Such a great idea.
I don't know what they mean by that. Like, why would everybody enjoy the Sharks? Because the Sharks are terrible and we can root against them.
No, it's because everybody.
We know the Blues are going to win.
Anthony.
Oh yeah, you're right. The Blues.
Bay Area teams.
Everybody's going to enjoy the Blues.
Anthony, we know how it works. So do the listeners. It's fine. Just own it. At least it would show that you're dedicated to it. Loyal.
Well, I'm not. So
You're not loyal?
I'm not loyal to the Sharks.
What?
Considering they've never been my favorite hockey team.
Well,
in ever, Bob.
Well, Anthony, you can't treat our listeners like that.
Okay.
By the way, people are telling you should get your windows tinted.
Yeah, then you can just do whatever you want in there, Anthony.
It's not, well, I mean, guys, come on.
You could.
It's one time. And Marsh got me covered with the depends, so we're good.
True.
All right, that'll do it for us. Instant replay coming up right now. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody listening. We'll see you tomorrow, too. See you.